For those of you joining us on RFM this evening, we say a very good evening, everyone, and welcome. Inside our Studio B this evening, we'll have broadcast coverage for you. It's Fitchburg at Whitman Hanson coming up, along with our partners at the K-Zone. I can hear in my ear the K-Zone is in their final open. We will join up with that coverage, tie it all together, and get you ready for Fitchburg and Whitman Hanson playoff basketball here on RFM and on the K-Zone. Stay right with us. Stand by. And we'll be with you in just a matter of moments. And from the B studio this evening, we say a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to those of you joining us on RFM this evening and as well on the K-Zone game of the week. It's great to have you along with us, and it's playoff basketball tonight here on the K-Zone. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us tonight. And of course, tonight, the beginning of a new era of statewide postseason basketball comes to fruition this evening, and that is the beginning of the first ever play-in rounds for the inaugural statewide playoff basketball tournaments in Division 1 through 5. Our focus tonight will be Division 2, and it's Division 2 boys that take center stage here on the K-Zone Game of the Week and here on RFM as well. As Fitchburg finds themselves on the road with their 39th overall rank, we'll explain in a moment. They find themselves in a play-in matchup tonight on the road against the 26th overall seed, the former state champion, and that is the Whitman Hanson Panthers tonight. That game down in Hanson, Massachusetts, taking place inside the gym in Hanson, Massachusetts. That is where that action is tonight, and thanks to the great folks at Whitman Hanson, we've got a look for those of you joining us on RFM and for those of you joining us on the K-Zone tonight. We are watching the internal closed circuit feed that is streaming out there tonight from the gym at Whitman Hanson, and we're able to see everything going on in there via automated camera. It allows us to see that warm-ups are going on. Whitman Hanson is taking their layups. Fitchburg getting ready to begin their layup lines as well. So all of that action about to come as I welcome in once again my broadcast partners, Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins. Our playoff action tonight on the K-Zone, brought to you by Acme Carpet One. There's lots of pros and cons in the flooring business, and these are the pros. Online at acmecarpetone.com. Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, here we go. Bill Thomas, when we did this bold experiment as part of COVID protocols last year, you were otherwise on assignment, so it was Kate and I here in Studio B, and here you are tonight joining us, getting your first feeling of broadcasting from the comforts of Studio B this evening and working off of a monitor to see what's going on elsewhere.
Well, it's interesting, the setup we have here, and I feel pretty comfortable, even though we haven't actually got into the game. I think that we're going to have a good view of what's going on thanks to the closed circuit feed that we're going to be relying on, and I'm looking forward to this game, just the matchup itself. We're going to have a great matchup between Fitchburg and Whitman Hanson tonight, and can't wait for them to toss the ball up.
No, I'm looking forward to it as well. It's an exciting game, and a Whitman Hanson team that has got multiple league championships going all the way back to 2007 when they won their first league championship out in Eastern Mass. They won it in 07, 2010, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2020, and 2021. They were also a league champion in the COVID modified schedule as well. But the key, of course, was the state championship. They were co-state champions, with Taconic in 2020 in that COVID modified season. So this is a program certainly.
But to add to that,
yes,
weren't they undefeated in that season too?
They were 35 straight games
over 2 seasons. Tremendous basketball record of recent, but fortunately, they didn't get to close it out that year, and I'm sure they're looking to to go all the way this year.
That is the question du jour. Can they build that momentum? It's a year that Coach Bob Rogers said is a rebuilding year of sorts. You know, they're trying to grow, put all the pieces back together after graduating a class that certainly was incredible and provided, of course, that state championship run in 2020 and then followed it on up from there with the wins and winning the league in the COVID-modified schedule last year as well. Third member of the broadcast team, Kate Robbins. And Kate, here we go. Fitchburg and Whitman Hanson. Fitchburg had the long drive today, but probably the only time you might say they benefit a little bit. Fitchburg gets out of school a little bit earlier than some. They start a little earlier in the morning, get out of school a little bit earlier in the afternoon. That may have benefited them to be able to get on the road a little earlier for a trip that was about an hour and a half on a weekend with no traffic, if you were to look at the Google Maps directions.
And you're absolutely right. And you have to remember, this bus is leaving from West Fitchburg, and so you got to get all the way out to Route 2. So this is going to be a long day for this Red Raiders team, no matter how you slice it and dice it, because they're going through that entirely full school day. They likely had to get on the bus almost immediately in order to make their way out all the way to Eastern Mass. But this is the way that statewide playoff system has worked. They want to make sure that that they have that true statewide championship feel. And so you have that situation where Fitchburg now, because they are the lower seed, gets on that bus ride. They go out to Whitman Hanson tonight. But a beautiful venue, beautiful part of the state. And so it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Where you both know I'm just excited to be in Studio B.
We got that. I think the last time early in the season you were here, we had a feel for your enthusiasm of the comfort level that you were enjoying.
Studio B.
And yeah, I'm on board. I'll tell you, the setup was much easier tonight. I will agree as far as that goes.
It certainly does have its benefits.
It's got its perks, by the way.
Game of the Week brought to you by Bank Hometown. Bank Hometown's free checking account works for you. Visit bankhometown.com or stop into their convenient Leominster branch, Sac Boulevard. Bank Hometown, member FDIC. As we continue to count you down to the 6:30 tip-off coming tonight, we've got a lot to set up for you. We've got brackets ahead.
We're
getting you ready. I was going to say, we've got controversy. What a surprise. I know, a first time for everything as it relates to MIAA postseason tournaments, so we'll chronicle some of that. But one thing I am noticing as I look out tonight is, yes, here comes the home team. So the layup line, actually, that we saw out there, that was Fitchburg High School. It looked like Whitman Hanson because of the white on the shorts. Turns out Whitman Hanson just ran out on the floor about 11 minutes from tip-off, based on the clock we can see on our closed-circuit feed.
That's been a heck of a pregame.
I was going to say, it has certainly been. Indeed. We're going to talk more about that, set the scene for you, and continue to move forward. As we continue to move ahead, you're listening to the K-Zone Game of the Week and the MIAA playoffs. All of that right here on the K-Zone. For those of you just joining us on the stream on RFM tonight, it's Fitchburg and Whitman Hanson. It's playoff basketball. Play in to the top 32. That's the goal tonight. Winner moves on to play Norwood. We got the bracket set up and a whole lot more as we count you down to tip-off, as you can see, just under 10 minutes from now here on RFM. Stand by. K-Zone rejoins us. Back to tonight's K-Zone Game of the Week from the gym at Whitman Hanson this evening and Studio B. Great to have you along with us tonight. Fitchburg's Red Raiders, the 39th overall seed in Division II, playing into the top 32 is the goal tonight as they battle the 26th seed, the Panthers of Whitman Hanson. That is the matchup that we've got for you tonight, and what we've got to get you set up is, of course, a look at the road for these two schools. How did they get here? That is the question du jour. And the look at the bracket is brought to you by Dorico's Market, a full-service meat market in deli, Worcester's go-to old-fashioned butcher shop and specialty market since 1947. Now at 1123 Central Street in Leominster. Check out Dorico's today. So how did these two schools get here? A brilliant question, you may ask. And of course, this is a 32-team bracket in the base of the playoffs. But then, remember, you had to make the top 32 in power rating, or any team over 500, at 500 or better, would qualify for the postseason. So, of course, that means teams below 32 qualified. There are 46 total teams in Division II. Fitchburg finished in power ratings at number 41 in that power rating. But there were teams in front of Fitchburg that had sub-500 records, and therefore Fitchburg gets moved up. They qualify for having a 500 or better record, finishing the regular season at 10-10, and therefore they get what is considered the 39th position, and they qualify, as you see for those of you joining us on RFM, they qualify to play Whitman Hanson tonight, who finished as the 26th seed, 12-10 overall. Whitman Hanson gets to host because every round from the play-in round through the round of 8, if you were to look at this as an NCAA tournament, so all the way through the Elite 8, will be contested at the site of the highest seed. Beginning with the statewide Final Four and working your way to the state championship, games will be contested at neutral sites. That is the beginning of this new playoff run. So what you're looking at, or what we are talking about here, is the top half of that bracket. So if you will, the top 16 teams, if you were to look at it as a north-south, the top 16 teams versus the bottom 16 teams, not in power rating, but in how they were actually laid out on the bracket. Fitchburg finds themselves in what you might call the Midwest. If you were looking at an NCAA bracket, they're kind of in the middle western part of the bracket. The winner of this game will play Norwood, who was the 7 seed and therefore did not have to contest a play-in matchup. And so Norwood advances on. They will host the winner of this Whitman Hanson-Fitchburg matchup in the round of 32 on Friday night. That's March the 4th at 6:30 p.m. That's when all of the round of 32 games will be contested. Friday night, 6:30 at the site of the higher seed. And that is how we get here. Leominster is also in this same bracket. They are on the western side of the bracket. They finished as a 4 seed in Division II, and Leominster lies in wait. They, as the 4th overall seed, have a 6:30 game on Friday night at the gym at Leominster High School. They will get the winner of the 29 seed Marblehead hosting the 36 seed Newburyport. And that matchup, winner, which is going on tonight, also with a 6:30 tip. We'll keep an eye on that one, and hopefully before we clear the air tonight on our Game of the Week here on the K-Zone, be able to tell you who Leominster will host in their round of 32 matchup at the gym at Leominster High School, 6:30 on Friday night. Also, a K-Zone Game of the Week right here for you on AM1280 and 105.3 FM, the K-Zone and WPKZ stream. Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins rejoin me here as we continue counting you down to tip-off. Just about 5 minutes to that scheduled 6:30 tip-off, or the introductions that will come from Whitman Hanson tonight. And as we look at this tournament, it wasn't, as Kate alluded to, without controversy. And that, of course, involved the Canton team, which through the last 2 power ratings prior to the bracket release, were the 20th overall seed with a 9-11 record. So they were sub-500, but their power rating had them ranked 20th. A team from the Fenway area, unfortunately was found to have ineligible players. The MIAA required them to forfeit all of their games. That zeroed out their record, that drove them to the lowest possible power rating score, or the lowest possible opponent score, which means anybody that played them had their power rating reduced in the process, and that dropped Canton out of the 20th seed all the way down into the mid-30s, and because they had a 9-11 record, they did not qualify. They were one of the teams that finished ahead of this Fitchburg team, power rating-wise, but Fitchburg had a better overall record. Fitchburg qualifies at a 500 record or better. Bill Thomas, that's the background. Where are you at?
Well, to make it a little more bittersweet, I think they would drop to 33.
Oh.
So, I mean, yeah, I just, if I was the coach and, part of the Canton school system, I'd have a bad taste in my mouth about the way the MIA handled this. I can understand penalizing the offending team, but you can't penalize the other 10, 12 opponents across the board. And Canton beat that offending team twice. So it's not like that, that the other team used their play to their advantage. I don't know how they fared against the other teams that also lost power ratings, or if any other teams, but Canton was the only one that was singled out because it affected them negatively. I'm sure that they can't be the only team affected, but the only one that was affected in this way. And I just feel bad for those kids, and it makes you wonder if you don't want to start rethinking how you're going to start scheduling your games and play to just find 10, I don't want to call them pushovers, but 10 within your area. Even if you got to play down, get those 10 wins, and then look to play those stronger teams if you want to get your team battle tested. But you got to find 10 wins, and you're not going to find it by playing stronger teams thinking it's going to help your power ratings, because you don't need the power ratings. You just need to have a tough team that can find a way to win 10 games, get them a couple battle-tested games, get them ready for the playoffs, and then let them take their chances moving forward.
And, Kate, of course, the thing is, it used to be about playing 20 games. Get to 20 games, you won half of them, you qualify. That's the way everything goes, prior to the start of this tournament season. That was the overall goal. And then, of course, there was a regional, central, west, north, south district final. And then those teams played into crossover finals. North played south, central played west. And then the winners of those games would compete, and they would play for the state championship. So in a lot of ways, it is similar to how you would look at this. But I think most people always considered that a very local, regionalized early rounds. And then those teams who had 500 or better records would battle their way out, and then the best of the regions would make that Final Four and would qualify on in for the state championship. So it's a little different way of looking at things, but if you're a coach and you're in this circumstance trying to construct a schedule or working with your AD to construct the schedule, what do? Do you just focus on playing teams, at least 10 of them, that you feel like are gimme wins?
Well, and Billy makes a great point, because unlike the situation with football, where that 8-game situation puts a wrench into everything, Billy's right. You have two separate avenues to be able to maneuver your way into playoff contention. Now, if you are a team, for instance, like the Wachusett girls team, who is looking to be in the top 5, I mean, right now they're ranked number 1 in Division I girls. If you're Coach Jim Oxford, you can't have 10 gimmies, because then you're going to limp your way into the playoffs because your power rating is going to be ineffectual. So if you want to be in the top of the tier, then no, that's not the way to go. If you are a team that is perennially either on the bubble or consistently out, then absolutely. You pick 10 teams. And it doesn't even matter what division. You can go
exactly
2 or
right.
3 divisions down. If anybody's willing to play you, if somebody's trying to fill a schedule, you can go play the Little Sisters of the Poor.
Or get battle-tested themselves.
Yeah, you can go play the Little Sisters of the Poor every single week. And as long as you get to 500, that's your second avenue. So if you're a team that's on the bubble, or if you're a team that's a perennial, bottom-of-the-barrel team, we've seen in this particular situation, you had teams in the 50s, even all the way down to 60 in a division.
In some of the divisions.
But because they
Ludlow,
had
the bottom of Division 5,
yeah,
I think,
they have above a
qualified
500
because they
record.
were like 15-5.
Yeah.
And they were
Yeah.
ranked 60th.
They must have been playing boys clubs.
And I know we have
girls
introductions
clubs.
coming up, but just one additional
Yes.
item. The difficulty here with this Canton situation and so many others in the past, the situation with the MIA, repeatedly, over and over and over again, in an overwhelming amount of times, they don't pass the sniff test. If Canton didn't do anything wrong, Canton's not the one that should be penalized in this situation. And the MIAA, for some reason, at every single turn, they stub their toe, they trip, and they prove continuously that, no, they're not, in fact, here for the student athlete. They are there as a business. And the worst part about it is the superintendent and an athletic administrator make an appeal to the MIAA, to the essentially the executive director himself, and they will not even hear the appeal. I mean, can you imagine? Why bother even calling Franklin? Why would you have the phone number? Nobody's going to answer the phone.
Certainly raises some concerns. We're getting you ready for Fitchburg and Whitman Hanson play-in round of the Division II tournament. It's coming up from the gym at Whitman Hanson, and it's the K-Zone game of the week. It's brought to you by Manny's Appliance. Manny's features a complete lineup of major brand name appliances with exclusive rebates the big box stores do not have. Buy the best from Manny's, 120 Hamilton Street in Leominster. Whitman Hanson battles Fitchburg. Winner moves on to the round of 32 on the K-Zone game of the week. National anthem for those of you joining us on RFM, for those of you joining us tonight on the K-Zone. Last break, tip-off of Fitchburg and Whitman Hanson. When we continue, this is the playoff game of the week right here on the K-Zone.
Two, please.
Thank you.
We are the members of the boys and girls varsity basketball team.
And we want to thank you all for being here tonight to support the two teams that are about to compete.
And we strictly enforce the MIAA sportsmanship code.
There are posters at the entrance of the gym,
Which will also be posted on the Jumbotron screens.
Which outline what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior.
And we would ask all of you in attendance to join us in making this a great night by treating everyone with respect and by adhering to these guidelines.
To our friends we stand, please treat our guests like you want to be treated if you played your sport at their school.
Many of our opponents are good friends of ours. We know they have worked very hard, just like us, when doing their best too.
And even if we never met before tonight, never call any player by a name or number.
If that happens, you'll be asked to leave.
We believe our super fans are the best in the league, so be loud and bring the energy.
But keep it all clean and respectful.
To everyone, please do not yell at the referees.
Roughing basketball is one of the toughest sports to officiate.
My teammates and I don't lose because we referee basketball every Sunday, and we know it's hard.
Whitman Hanson has a zero tolerance policy for anyone who yells at or questions the officials.
If you do it, expect to be asked to leave.
And we are so lucky to have these hardworking individuals dedicated so much time and energy into the sport we love.
In the event of an emergency, the doors behind the TV benches lead directly outside.
Stripes and bright stars through the
from all the way in Hanson, Massachusetts, and right here to Central Mass, we say good evening to you. Once again, our K-Zone Game of the Week playoff action right here tonight on the K-Zone. Playoff action brought to you by Whitcomb Insurance. Whitcomb has the right coverage at the right price with a local team of insurance pros ready to help. Online at whitcomb.com. BoltonOrchards.com. Starting lineups for both teams brought to you by Bolton Orchards. Get fresh every day in Bolton at the junctions of Route 110 and 117. Take the short drive today. Starting lineup goes like this. For the Panthers, Cole Champigny will get the start along with Amari Jamison, Ryan Valancourt, Dom Massoni, and Malcolm Alcorn Crowder will get the start tonight for the hometown Panthers of Whitman Hanson. Fitchburg starting five, same one we saw for the Red Raiders when they last battled Leominster. Donovan DeLeon, the senior, gets the start along with senior Darnell Thomas, Zion Ayala, senior Nico Caputi, and Victor Kutka runs the point for the Red Raiders. That is the starting lineup brought to you by Bolton Orchards. And with that, we're ready for action. It's the K-Zone game of the week. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Playoff basketball coming your way, ready to get underway. 3 officials as assigned by the hometown board of the particular region that is hosting the game. All certified by the MIAA. Tip is up, control is won by the Panthers. They will go left to right, wearing the home white tops and white bottoms, trimmed in black and red as the deflection goes out of play. And Whitman Hanson will keep the basketball. Red Raiders start in a matchup man-to-man defense, wearing the road brick red tops, brick red bottoms, trimmed in white and Adidas black stripes. The numerals front and back, and Fitchburg across the chest. And right away, Darnell Thomas with the pick, down floor from right to left, pulls up at the foul line, and that one won't fall. Red Raiders 0 of 1, 25 seconds in, but they got an early defensive stop.
Yeah, Darnell Thomas coming off a 21-point game that got him in the playoffs last week.
Whitman Hanson working half court to the right. They swing the basketball along the outer edge. Senior Ryan Valancourt goes baseline touch pass for Alcorn Crowder, and they swing it along the outside. All of a sudden, there's the dash to the basket, and a foul call there on the drive by Massoni, and he's going to go to the line, shoot 2.
Quick passing right there, no hesitation. Trying to beat the defense to the spot. Did a good job there getting the lane open.
Ayala picks up his first, team first for the Red Raiders in the first half.
And they ruled the foul on the drive on the floor before the shot went up. The inbound goes in, tapped away by the Red Raiders. Thomas finds it in his hands, wields wildly down the floor, and he's called for a walk. And the ball will go back to Whitman Hanson.
A little extra hop and a jump there. Got tied up in between moves. Nice job by Whitman Hanson closing in on the lane.
Right now, Fitchburg looking like they're trying to get their sea legs under them here in the early going. Things a little bit shaky on the early go here, but 1 full minute in, no basket for either team yet.
Did I mention the long bus ride? Swing into the corner. Champigny throws up a 3 from the right corner. Back rim, high rebound, and a foul on the rebounding action goes against the Panthers. It'll be Red Raider basketball. Senior Ryan Valancourt, he is a massive profile and coverage story there, Bill Thomas. A profile and coverage is Ryan Valancourt. He was diagnosed with cancer this summer. He continued to play his AAU basketball and continued to prepare for the season, has played all year for this Whitman Hanson team while going through his cancer treatments. Coach Bob Rogers said to me, they believe the cancer is gone for Ryan Valancourt. He's back out on the floor. Never missed a game this year. Couldn't play in a couple of them. Had to just watch as there is an offensive foul, and the ball will go back to Whitman Hanson. But a great story about Ryan Valancourt, and of course, great news all around to hear that he beat this insidious disease.
Yeah, it's in remission, and he battled through all the treatments, loss of his hair and appetite and strength, but he was right there with the team the entire way. Team was behind him 1,000%.
And Valancourt goes with the alley-oop tap. Not able to be finished by Jameson at the doorstep. Red Raiders with the basketball. Up floor, it's Kutka. Nice skip pass through the lane. It is fielded low by Ayala, and he'll send it back to the top for Darnell Thomas.
Kutka proving why he was brought up from JV. The distribution of the ball, masterful on his part.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Kate. We talked a lot about him.
And he slashes lane left, lays it in and good, and Kutka gets to finish that one off, and it's a 2-0 Red Raider lead. First points come at the 5:40 mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, we saw a lot of him when Leominster matched up against Fitchburg. Very active. He's earned his way into the lineup as a JV call-up.
Another defensive pick for the Red Raiders. They're coming back down floor.
3 early turnovers for the Red Raiders. No points off him yet, though.
De Leon drives foul line, pull-up jumper, got the front rim, not able to roll, and the rebound for Alcorn Crowder. He occupies some space in the inside.
Yeah, big boy in the middle there. He's going to get his share of rebounds on both ends of the court tonight.
Jamison gets a good look at three from the right, not able to go. Long rebound. It will roll out of play just past Coach James McCall, but it's Red Raider basketball. Last touch by the Panthers.
We're seeing yet again this very stereotypical lethargic first quarter of basketball on both sides of the ball right now for these teams.
The entry for Caputi. Turnaround shot will not go. Rebound for Jamison. Up floor, he finds Valancourt. And Valancourt will take it back out to the left corner. Pop up a three, back rim, no. Battle for the rebound, ripped down by Caputi. Caputi takes it right to left up floor, drives in the lane for Thomas. It got deflected by a Panther out of play. Red Raiders will keep the basketball with 26 to shoot.
Nice look right there. Red Raiders pushing the ball up the court every chance they get.
Under 5 minutes and only 2 points scored in a Division II playoff basketball game.
Athletic director and head coach Bob Rogers conferring with the officials on the baseline, and he gets told to take a knee.
He was there to begin with.
I was going to say, and back we go to action. They say it was a deflected basketball. Red Raiders with the ball, half court to the left, and Kutka with possession to the left of the arc. He'll go to De Leon, top of the key. De Leon slashes down the lane. Scoop shot will not go. Kutka got the rebound from the right block.
Kutka looking for that bounce pass. Nice interior job right there.
And a turnaround for Darnell Thomas. The pull-up jumper on the right wing will go, and it forces a timeout. 4:27 to play in quarter one. 4-0 is Fitchburg's lead, and Coach Bob Rogers said, we got to spend a timeout and regroup.
Let's talk about this a little bit. You don't expect to go the first 3.5 minutes of a playoff game without scoring, but that's exactly what's happened to the Panthers here tonight.
And it's a very difficult feeling. Number one, you're the higher seed. Number two, you're the home team. Number three, you've had a team have to come into your building from nearly 2 hours away. And it's not as if they're blazing a trail of offense, but right now, you, as the Panthers, still have a goose egg on the scoreboard. That's a difficult pill to swallow with 4.5 minutes remaining in the quarter. These are only 8-minute quarters, and you're nearly halfway through, and you can't find the basket.
Yeah, and, you're looking for a little confidence, and I'm sure, the deeper we get into this quarter, the players on the floor are going to start pressing. Somebody's got to break the ice for Whitman Hanson, and I'm sure that's what they want to diagram up coming out of this huddle.
And it's a good opportunity, of course, to kind of figure out what exactly has been going on here. I mean, they were the home team. They were the team that was able to take their time coming out of the locker room, and all of a sudden they start out flat, and it's not because they've had bad shots, just haven't been able to finish at the rim.
I noticed they have a curtain dividing their gym. I wonder if they weren't warming up in a different part of the gym than came out just before the game. And looks like they got a little more to play with than what we see on TV here tonight.
It is a relatively brand new building, and it is what they refer to as a double gym. So I think it's a good bet, Bill Thomas. You are right.
That.
They come out of the timeout, 4:20 to play here in quarter one. They come left to right up the floor. Into the corner. This is Jamison. Pop for a three from the right side. Won't go. Battle for the rebound. Brought down by Alcorn Crowder. Tries to bounce it back to the top of the key. It's picked by Thomas. Right to left he goes down floor. The lay-in is good as Thomas gives up the body.
And I tell you, no call on the crash there, but something on the backside I think was said. And we'll have to see what this is.
It is a technical foul.
Yeah, I think, and I don't know why there wasn't a foul called there, and complete frustration on Fitchburg's part, but I hate to say it's understandable, but a lot of crashing going down on the other end on that layup.
Ryan Valancourt, the senior at the line, shooting the technical free throws. He missed the first. It was not on a complaint to the official as Valancourt hits the second. The technical foul came because Thomas stayed over the top of the player that took him to the floor, and he barked back at him.
So that's Thomas's second foul, team third of the first half for the Red Raiders. And as you said, Valancourt hits his second.
And that's halfway through quarter one. Valancourt misses the three. Alcorn Crowder, the turnaround in the lane, he gets fouled, and Crowder will go to the line to shoot two. 3:51 to play here in quarter one. It's 6-1 Fitchburg, but right now you would think the Panthers are enjoying quite a bit of momentum. They charge the foul to Caputi, his first.
his first team fourth for the Red Raiders, and this becomes one of those situations right now. Alcorn Crowder certainly has the physicality on that interior in the paint, especially on the offensive boards, starting to use that physicality to his advantage.
The second is a miss. Champagne, the rebound, and the putback, plus the foul.
Quite the turnaround right there off of that technical.
3:49 to play in quarter one. The Panthers have half to the score. It's 6-3 Fitchburg. A chance to complete a three-point play for Cole Champigny.
Camputi now picks up his second, team fifth for Fitchburg. Fouls now in the first quarter starting to add up, and this potentially could have been a game plan of the Panthers to kind of get under Fitchburg's skin early.
Champigny misses from the line, and the rebound down for De Leon. De Leon will find Kutka, and he'll have the opportunity, hopefully, to steady the game. And that's what Coach James McCall said Victor Kutka brings to this Red Raider team. He steadies the team. He brings some balance to the chemistry on the floor. And, of course, he's great at distributing the basketball. He'll go right with 7 to shoot. He'll set up a shot, in that case, from Medina. Medina's 3 won't go, and the rebound is down for the Panthers.
Right now, the Panthers doing a nice job, especially in their offensive end, out rebounding Fitchburg, but also doing the job on the defensive end.
Crowder to Valancourt, wide open in the right corner, and buries a 3 from the right side. We're at 6-all at the 3:05 mark of the first quarter. Medina tries to respond from the left corner. He can't do it. Valancourt the rebound, and then an immediate giveaway.
Nice job by the Red Raiders there, watching the fast break coming up court, got in the passing lane.
Medina missed the initial shot trying to split 2 defenders, but he goes back out to Kutka, who rattles a 3 home of his own.
Not afraid to take that shot either. You know, he's called up from JVs, worked his way in that starting lineup immediately, and made his presence felt.
9-6 Fitchburg's lead, 2.5 to play here in quarter one. Kutka will swat that one away from Champigny. Panthers will keep the basketball.
Kutka right now with a team-high 5 points here in the first quarter for Fitchburg.
Be an inbound right in front of a capacity Panther student section right up on the floor, and boy, are they enthusiastic.
But they're 2 hours away, Todd.
That's right, Champigny into the corner for Jameson. That one won't go on the rebound. It was deflected wide, and it was run down by, it looked like Doug Dyer run that one down for the Red Raiders. Check it was Ayala.
Panthers struggling from the foul line.
They are.
Ayala underhands this one for Jeffries. Jeffries comes back to the left, finds De Leon into the corner. This is Ayala. Left baseline drive. He gets dropped on by Crowder, and it's called the walk before the contact.
Oh, my God.
That's not going to make Fitchburg
That's
very
not going to
happy
play
at
out
all.
well in the first quarter, as this is turning out to be a little one-sided here early on, but we'll have to see how it balances out, and Fitchburg coaching staff can stand to control here, because I know that's going to get under their skin.
Certainly, and with good reason. That was an awfully tough call as Jameson gets a set from the right-hand three-pointer away and delivers. We're at 9-all at the 150 mark of the first quarter. Red Raiders opened on a 6-0 run. And the immediate giveaway back down floor is Rivera throws it away.
Turnover starting to swing the other way now also.
Champigny, 3 from straight away, back rim, no. Whistle and a foul on the rebounding action. And an explanation to Coach James McCall there. I have to imagine he wanted an explanation on that previous sequence about the walk versus foul call.
I would too, and the first chance he's had a chance to question the official over on his side.
And a foul on a loose ball here. Just the second called against the Panthers, but I have to imagine fouls were 5-1.
Third called
Thank you,
on the
Kate.
Panthers. That's Jameson's second. He just picked up 2 fouls in the last 30 seconds.
2 real quick ones right there.
Substitute tried to come in off the bench and go directly into the game.
Oopsie-daisy.
It is for Jameson. He will now check back out. Don Massoni back into the game for Jameson. The bounce to the baseline is picked off. And here come the Panthers the other way. It's Ryan Baker, the freshman, sets up a 3. That one will not go for Guardia. And the rebound, Champigny, and the rebound comes down in the hands of Ayala.
Right now, Fitchburg is the beneficiary of the fact that the Panthers been a little bit cold from the perimeter, but they are taking these one-shot opportunities on the offensive end repeatedly. They're missing most of those opportunities, but if they get hot from the outside, they're going to be a tough team to handle.
Final minute to play here in quarter one. 3 launched away from Thomas, does not go. Red Raiders, De Leon the rebound. He'll feed Jeffries. Jeffries through the paint, through the hands this time of Medina. And then there is a foul on the loose ball. No, they call it a 3 in the key. That was a soft whistle there, but all of a sudden I see the 3 waving on the baseline official. It's a 3 in the key, and the ball will go back to the Panthers.
Coaching staff for the Panthers remain very demonstrative, even though that call was in their favor. They are chewing on anything with stripes right now.
Ethan Gordon was the Red Raider parked in the paint. Final 30 seconds here of quarter one. There's about a 1.5 differential. Shot clock to game clock. Inside pass, Crowder goes back out, tries to find the corner there. It was Masoni, bounce back inside. Baker has it taken out of his hands by De Leon and out of play. Panthers keep the basketball. 16 3/10 left here in quarter one. We're knotted at 9.
And that type of a play just illustrates the athleticism, the pure raw athleticism of the Fitchburg Red Raider team. Not a lot of polish all the time, but raw athleticism from this team.
Because Crowder made a great bounce pass, had the defense beat, and I'm not sure who it was, jumped back in the play on the low block and got to block that easy layup.
Ball got tapped right back out of bounds, took a few seconds off the clock. Now back in. 4 seconds to shoot. Champigny the shot away. Rebound for Baker. Putback doesn't go. 5 seconds before the end of quarter one. And a great play by Alcorn Crowder. He banged it off of Gordon, and the Panthers will keep the basketball for one more shot with 3.5 seconds left in quarter one. Champigny gets the inbound in a double team, gave it away to De Leon, and that's the way the first quarter will end. It was a first 4 minutes dominated by Fitchburg. Back 4 minutes, comeback for the Panthers. 18 combined points through one quarter. We're knotted at 9 in Hanson, Massachusetts tonight.
Well, they say try to hold your opponent to a single-digit quarter, but don't get yourself stuck in one. We got each team here stuck in single digits, but very active and energetic first quarter. Just hard to find the basket on both ends of the court.
It's the K-Zone Game of the Week, brought to you by Builder Surplus, a great selection of first-quality building materials at prices you will like, online at builders-surplus.com. You know what you need, get it at Builders Surplus for less. The K-Zone Game of the Week brought to you by Central Communication Systems. The experts at Central Communication Systems, the key provider for thousands of businesses around New England since 1991. Learn more at central-inc.com. As we welcome you back inside Studio B here on the K-Zone Game of the Week and on RFM. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you with us from the comforts of Studio B in Leominster tonight as we bring you this one from Hanson, Massachusetts tonight. And once again, a thank you to Athletic Director and Varsity Basketball Coach Bob Rogers from Whitman Hanson for providing us this coverage from their Hudl camera inside of the gym in Hanson, Massachusetts tonight. We're able to bring this game to you in the community all across the K-Zone at AM1280, 105.3 FM, and WPKZstream.com, as well as with our partners at RFM tonight. 9-all through one quarter.
Work to be done on both sides, Bill Thomas. Work to be done.
Yeah, especially Thomas and De Leon, both top scorers for Fitchburg, and they got to find a way to light it up a little bit here and get their team moving.
Second 8 minutes underway. Red Raiders with the basketball. It's an entry pass from Caputi that gets deflected out of play. Red Raiders will keep the ball. Gordon was going to inbound, but now it's going to be Yadiel Rivera who's going to do the inbounding duties. He'll break a lukewarm stack. To the left he goes. Shot from Rodriguez will not go. And down to the floor, coming out with the rebound, is Rodriguez, the shooter.
Fitchburg remaining ice cold from behind the three-point arc so far tonight.
And you can see Coach James McCall trying to mix and match and find a chemistry that gets hot as Rodriguez throws up another 3. It's deflected out of play. Fitchburg keeps the basketball.
Yeah, and they got a shot clock reset, and I don't think that ball hit the rim. Looked like it got basket and then players, but fortunate for Fitchburg get a shot clock out of that.
The officials are conferring on the baseline. There may be an overrule by the official they call the center. You have the lead who's underneath the basket, trail who's up at the three-point line, and in a three-person system, the center is the official halfway in between. They have shot clock responsibility along with the trail official. Clearly, this official believes there should not have been a reset, and they will adjust it down to 15 seconds on the possession.
Yeah, you kind of see that coming. Good adjustment by the officials there.
So
That's
Red
why
Raiders keep
having
the ball.
6 eyes on the court, a little bit more helpful
Absolutely.
than just 4.
Positive part of the playoffs. Red Raiders keep the ball, half court left. The inbound into the hands of Jeffries, almost stripped, feeds foul line, jumper for Caputi, and down it goes.
The definition of accidental offense right there, but it's worth 2 points.
It's better than offensive indifference.
11-9, the Red Raider lead. 7:15 left here in the second quarter, and it's another defensive takeaway. Back down floor from right to left comes Rodriguez, but he gave the ball up. Teams exchange takeaways. Here comes Jamison, foot on the gas, down floor, feeds Crowder, lay in good. 11 all, 1 minute in to the second quarter. Timeout taken by the Red Raiders and Coach James McCall.
I think he wants to slow things down here a little bit. Nice defense, but just rushing a little bit on offense.
K-Zone Game of the Week brought to you by Colonial Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. The team at Colonial Hudson is here to make your new or used car purchase or lease stress-free. Online at Colonial Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep.com. Get your first quarter stats. They're brought to you by Great Road Farm and Garden. Get your gardening needs met locally at Great Road Farm and Garden on Great Road in Littleton.
Right now, the offensive stat sheet, nothing is certainly standing out on either side of the ball. Well, the offensive side of the ball for either team. Fitchburg, Darnell Thomas, and Kutka, the only contributors to the offensive stat sheet in the first quarter. Right now, Fitchburg out-rebounding Whitman Hanson. They had been far behind at the beginning of the game, but they were able to pick things up. So in that first quarter, they had 10 rebounds to Whitman Hanson's 8. So things going pretty well there. Whitman Hanson, though, struggling with turnovers, already with 9 turnovers in the half, which is pretty exorbitant. But the other story we're going to have to make sure that we keep an eye on is the fact that right now Thomas and Caputi for Fitchburg, both with 2 fouls apiece, and on the Panther side of the ball, Jamison has 2 as well.
And the points off turnovers, that's been the kind of the low conversion rate for the Red Raiders. They've had some great defensive play and just haven't been able to turn it into points. Right out of the timeout, there's another giveaway as Caputi is stripped of the basketball. Back down floor, here come the Panthers, left to right. They set up the offense, half court right. Champigny from straightaway 3, back rim no, Caputi the rebound. And right back up floor, here come the Red Raiders. This is Rivera, swings to Rodriguez right, 3-pointer away, front rim no, crashes for the rebound. Doug Dyer into the game, comes out with that one.
Using his size right there. I think that's why he's in there.
And he taps it on to Caputi, who creates some space, pulls up for 2 from mid-range, and down that goes. 13-11 Red Raiders, 2 minutes into this second quarter. And you got to imagine, Bill Thomas, Doug Dyer's in the basketball game to body up against Malcolm Alcorn Crowder.
Absolutely, and take some fouls if he has to.
And Alcorn Crowder misses a shot in the lane, pressured there by Dyer. And here come the Red Raiders back down the floor from right to left.
I will say, however, Fitchburg continuing to rely on the perimeter shot as their first line of offense. So they've been beneficiaries because they're getting the offensive boards, but they're still relying on that perimeter shot as their first attempt.
Loose ball makes its way to Dyer. Turnaround left side, too strong, and the rebound comes down in the hands of the Panthers. Back up floor, it's Masoni through the pass away. It was deflected, found its way to Alcorn Crowder, and send it in, Malcolm. Send it in. He dunks it. Unbelievable. 13 all, 5:22 to play in the second.
I think that's the first live game Duck was seen all year in all the games we've covered, and it's a pretty exciting play at the high school level.
He didn't exactly have to jump all that
No, I know.
far.
It looked rather easy for him.
That means he's a pretty big human.
He's got more coming, I think, and he knows how to fire up a crowd, I'm quite sure.
Easy.
Indeed he did, and fired up that home student section. Red Raiders with the throwaway in transition, and this ball will go back to Whitman Hanson.
Looked like Zach Caputi caught somebody off guard there, not ready for the ball, looking for a rebound.
Well, that's the thing. This late in the season, both teams, the passing, I mean, we've seen a little bit of flashing of brilliance from Whitman Hanson with those quick passes, but for the most part, there's been a lot of sloppy ball handling.
A lot of cross-court
either.
passes, too,
Well,
I think,
and
which
you know,
are never productive.
You know how much
There's another one. I mean, it takes so long. The defense has all day to react.
Champigny, right corner three, does not go. Deflected rebound, finds its way to Jamison.
What a
Jamison
move right
through
there.
2 defenders, chaps it back, reloads Champigny, 3 away, delivers this time, and the Panthers claim the lead at 16-13.
And that's a well-earned assist right there, dribbling through traffic, drawing the defense, finding the open three-pointer.
4.5 to play here in the second quarter. This is Ayala. Ayala, foul line bounce, finds Caputi, and the jumper will go down. Red Raiders within 1 at 16-15.
Caputi, the sole scorer in the second quarter for the Red Raiders. He has 6 second quarter points. No friends have any points, though.
Oh, what a
Right
pass
back
right
down
there.
for the feed, finds Masoni, and he finishes at the rim.
Crowder with a blind pass after drawing the defense for an open layup.
Red Raiders launch another 3 away. That one doesn't go. Deflected by Thomas, and it's Panther basketball. Talked about this morning with Sean Sweeney on the K-Zone morning commute. If you were in a situation and you're Fitchburg and you're bombing away from the outside and you're not hitting, you're dying by that 3. You're not able to battle back into this basketball
Well,
game.
the last 2 trips up the court, the last 2 baskets, we saw Fitchburg moving inside to Caputi with about a 12 to 15 footer. That's what Fitchburg's got to look for.
Kate, you mentioned, of course, the sloppy play. Last game for both schools last Thursday. That's February 24th. They have been laid off since then as the playoffs formulated. Third shot of the possession won't go for Alcorn Crowder, and the Red Raiders get themselves a rebound.
And
We're back.
refresh.
I was going to say, hang with us there. Buffering on the play. All good. Action continues. Panthers with the ball back. 3 away from the right side. Won't go this time for Baker. And the rebound is brought down by DeLeon. DeLeon works his way up floor. Spin in the lane for Thomas.
Ooh.
Kiss the glass, and down it goes.
That looked nice, and we need to see more of that from Donnell Thomas. Him and DeLeon, main contributors the last 2 games, and been kind of quiet up to this point.
20-18, Fitchburg's lead. 2:40 to play in the second quarter. Swing to the near side. This is Valancourt. Sets up Champigny from his spot on the right side. 3 won't go. Long rebound will roll up the hallway out of play, and Fitchburg gets the basketball back. 2.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. +2 at 20-18.
You know, when you look at the point distribution in the win against North Middlesex, got Fitchburg into the playoffs. DeLeon and Thomas, 33 of Fitchburg's 73 points, and going back to the loss against Haverhill, 71-70, they contribute 37 of that 70 points. So about half of the offense typically comes through DeLeon and Thomas, and they got to start cranking it up.
You're absolutely right, Bill Thomas. Right now, Caputi, the only one really with any scoring for the Red Raiders.
DeLeon with the pull-up. That one won't go. Rebound down for the Panthers. They'll bring it left to right up the floor. This is Jamison through a double team, whistles, and the play is waved off. The foul is on the floor.
And why that's not a travel, I have no idea. He took about 4 steps before he got near anybody, but goes as a foul, billed against Fitchburg.
K-Zone.
Todd.
No.
DeLeon's first, team 6.
K-Zone Game of the Week brought to you by Liberty Supply, Inc. Liberty Supply Incorporated. Service the way it used to be.
You know, we were worried about Fitchburg being a foul trouble. We've done a good job managing it as the second quarter winds down. Still, we thought they'd be in the bonus early. Whitman Hanson would be.
Trouble getting the ball inbound for Masoni, and Coach Rogers says timeout. 2:13 to play in the second quarter. Red Raiders with the 20-18 lead.
Good heads-up play right there. No sense throwing the ball away. Take that timeout and regroup. Get yourself another inbounds play.
Game of the Week on the K-Zone, brought to you by Marigal Medical, a physical medicine clinic in Leominster, providing care and treatment to patients of all ages. Online, marigalmedical.com. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you with us, bringing you this K-Zone Game of the Week. MIAA playoff action. It is the play-in round to qualify for the top 32. Winner of this matchup between Whitman Hanson and Fitchburg tonight, they get 7 seed Norwood at Norwood on Friday night at 6:30.
We traveling to that? Oh, no, we already have a game scheduled.
I was going to
Friday
say,
night.
we would,
What
Bill
is it?
Thomas, but
We got a
all
K-Zone game
all
of
the
the week?
rounds of 32 are together, and the upcoming schedule is brought to you by Clear Path for Veterans New England by Northeast Insurance. Clear Path for Veterans supports families with connections to the latest in wellness options. We owe it to them to do our part. Donate now at clearpathne.org. This message brought to you by Northeast Insurance Agency. A K-Zone game of the week is on tap, Bill Thomas, for Friday night, round of 32. Leominster, the 4th overall seed in Division II, will host either Marblehead or Newburyport. That game will tip at 6:30. 6:15 is your countdown to tip-off here on the K-Zone. Baker's 3 doesn't go. Rebound and outlet down floor for the Red Raiders. Drive down the lane. This is De Leon who draws the contact. Should be in the act of shooting, and De Leon should go to the line to shoot a pair.
Good job. Good look down court right there on the break off the pass.
The very big point there. Jameson's 3rd foul. Only 4 fouls for the entire Panthers squad. 3 of them belong to Jameson. He's going to be sitting on the pine for a few minutes.
Gonna have to into the second half, and he had some of the early offense for the Panthers as De Leon hits the first, increases the Red Raider lead to 3 at 21-18.
What's Jameson got on the scoreboard side other than helping
He's got a
run the
three-pointer.
offense? He's got a three-pointer early
Yep.
on. Still very active out there on the floor. Not somebody you want to see taking a seat on the bench before the first half's over.
Couple of steals in there as well and brought the ball up floor in transition. Crowd gets on the back of De Leon, and De Leon silences them by hitting the second free throw. 2 minutes to play before halftime. It's 22-18 Red Raiders. Panthers with the basketball, moving left to right up the floor. Cross court. This is Valancourt with the right hand dribble. Baseline drive. Goes with the reverse lay-in. That one won't go, but Crowder's the rebound, cleans up the glass, and finishes with 2 more and brings the Panthers within 2.
Bill Thomas, with Crowder's size and ability on the offensive boards, he can certainly wash away a lot of sins.
Oh,
De Leon
absolutely. And
tried to respond, missed the shot. Crowder the rebound, but then the giveaway in transition is taken by Kutka. Kutka will turn the action right to left up floor, and Crowder swats it away from Caputi.
get that out of here, he says. Not in my house.
Oh, my.
With authority. Big wingspan, good jumping ability, good court presence, and he knew right where to be on that defensive play.
All the feels of playoff basketball tonight. That's what we're seeing here on the K-Zone and RFM this evening.
You don't need a high-scoring game to make an exciting game. We're seeing a very well-played but defensive-minded game up to this point.
De Leon through Thomas and to the right side. Finds Kutka. The jumper won't go, and the ball brought down in the hands of Crowder.
That leads the fast break.
Indeed he does.
Gets
And gets
a little
bodied off
carried
the
away.
ball.
Yeah.
Kutka goes up floor for De Leon, and De Leon will lay it in for 2 more as we go under a minute to halftime.
Alcorn Crowder trying to do it all, just not part of his repertoire. Got to give it up, get under the basket where he belongs.
Well, when you see him dribbling the ball up
Yeah.
the court, you go, what are you doing?
And his
Exactly.
teammates all fell
Yeah.
off of him in that
What
circumstance.
are we doing?
Baker, 3
Looked
from
like
the left
Shaq
side.
bringing the ball up the court.
Yep.
Baker's 3 doesn't go. Kutka the rebound, dribbles it out of trouble. But a 7-second differential, shot clock to game clock. As Caputi pulls up for a 2 in the left wing, it won't go. Loose ball run down. Ayala tried the no-look bounce, and it got picked going the other way by Baker.
Hold for the last shot if they want here.
Shot clock is off. 22 seconds left before halftime. Crowder's pass gets deflected. Caputi tries the save. It just goes from baseline to sideline, out of play. Panther basketball, 17 and a half seconds before the half.
Why Crowder continues to be out at that 3-point line, I'll never know. If I was him, I would literally cement my rear end underneath that
Absolutely.
basket.
You're in the low blocks, and you're just waiting for action under there.
Champigny, the inbound,
Slide with the ball.
falling out of play. He fed Masoni. Masoni in a double team, got the pass to Valancourt. 7 seconds before the half. Valancourt's 3. Back rim, no. Ayala the rebound. And there is a timeout called by Coach McCall. 1.9 seconds before halftime. Fitchburg with the 24-20 lead, trying to set up an opportunity for a last couple of points. Make a quick 2-point steal maybe before the half, or fire up a considerable 3.
I think Coach McCall saw a 2-point steal going the other way with his player trapped in that corner on the baseline there. That was a great timeout to get his player out of trouble and avoid that last-minute turnover with momentum changing basket before the half.
Coming up at the half here on the K-Zone and RFM. You stay right here and stay right with us. We'll step aside for a quick break, get you the halftime stats coming up. Kate will bring them all to you. Plus, we'll check in on other games going on around the region as well. All that coming up at the half right here on the K-Zone Game of the Week. Game of the Week is brought to you by ROI Office Furniture and Systems, Sterling Rare Coin, Tom's Automotive, High Country Workwear, and Tariku Tractor. We thank all of you so very much for your support all winter long for the K-Zone Game of the Week.
Kate, how surprised are you that the Red Raiders were able to survive this first half and not getting into foul trouble?
Well,
4 minutes into the game, they were at 5, I think, and they've played these last 12 minutes pretty aggressively, but only picking up 1.
You're absolutely right. One of the things you saw Whitman Hanson do is come out and they really poured on the physicality. And it looked to be that they were going to get under Fitchburg's skin, and Fitchburg was going to be a little bit more flagrant with their physicality, but things, as you said, settled down toward the end of the first quarter. Second quarter has been nice and quiet foul-wise.
The inbound, the shot pulled up by Caputi, and it will not fall. Caputi got a great open look from the right side. Defense collapsed a little late, but wasn't able to get it at the buzzer. Halftime score, Fitchburg 24, Whitman Hanson 20. What a first half of action. Red Raiders opened on a 6-0 run, and then battling back into the game came Whitman Hanson. We were at 9-all through one quarter, and at the half, offensive production went up 24-20. Fitchburg on top of Whitman Hanson. Fitchburg was ranked 39th coming into this one. They had the 39th position against the 26th seed in Whitman Hanson, who arguably, they've said, bit of a rebuilding year, but certainly Coach Bob Rogers was expecting more offensively out of his team. He has not seen it here in the first half.
Well, Coach McCall has to be happy with that 15-point quarter, gets them back on par with what they need.
And that's the way things will go. Hey, we're going to reset. Kate's got your first half stats coming up. Bill Thomas, your mid-game adjustments. All that as we continue tonight from Hanson, Massachusetts, and Studio B here in Leominster. So much more to come. Game of the Week brought to you by the one-stop shop. For all your comic book and video game needs, there's only one stop, and it's the one-stop shop. Your one stop here in North Central Mass for playoff basketball. It's right here on the K-Zone and RFM. 24-20, Fitchburg on top of Whitman Hanson at the half. A break and we're back with more. This is the Game of the Week on the K-Zone. 3, please. Back on the K-Zone Game of the Week here on AM1280, 105.3 FM, and WPKZstream.com. Halftime at Whitman Hanson. Fitchburg on top of Whitman Hanson, the home team, 24-20 at the half. Red Raiders opened on a 6-0 run, found themselves 9-9 at the end of one quarter, and then leading at the half, 24-20. K-Zone Game of the Week, it's brought to you by Walker Orthodontics, a pioneer in advanced airway orthodontics, online at drwalker.com. Your first step to a better night's sleep begins with Walker Orthodontics. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us here on the K-Zone Game of the Week and with our partners at RFM this evening, as well as we welcome you inside of Studio B. We'll get you back out to Hanson, Mass. and the gym in Hanson soon as second half action begins. Kate's going to have first half stats from that one. But Bill Thomas, here comes a little bit of fun. You don't even know this is going on. This is one of the great parts of Studio B. We're going to dip in and see some other action in Division II. Little bonus coverage here coming to you by way of Marblehead. This is Marblehead and Newburyport doing battle. They're into the third quarter in Marblehead tonight, and that action is very important to those of us that are keeping track here in North Central, because the winner of this Marblehead and Newburyport game, they come to Leominster on Friday night for the next K-Zone Game of the Week in the round of 32 in this MIAA tournament. A big basket there by the Magicians, plus a foul, puts Marblehead on top, 43-42, 3:22 to play in the third quarter. So that game's a little ahead of where we are on pace. We'll be able to keep an eye on this one and hopefully get you a result before we head off the air tonight, but able to dip in, see a little bonus coverage here after the made free throw. The Magicians of Marblehead, 44 and 42 for Newburyport, 3-minute mark of the third quarter in that one. Bill Thomas, bonus coverage. How great is this?
And I'm guessing the Blue Devils might have had an early practice and might be having a little pizza watching this game on some large screen TV somewhere doing a little scouting.
I've been told that Coach Grudgefield was going to make the trip up to the North Shore tonight to see the action in person among the crowd.
I gotta find him now.
Out there as well before we dip out of
Like
that
where's
action.
Waldo, except I'm looking for a blue shirt.
Bonus
Look
coverage.
for somebody whose tie is loosened. You'll pick them out.
Brought to you by Airport Auto Parts. A second generation of automotive recyclers provides the best customer experience online at airportautoparts.com. 46-44, make it 46 all, 2:20 to play in the third quarter. Marblehead and Newburyport doing battle tonight. Winner travels to 4-seed Leominster on Friday night on the K-Zone Game of the Week, 6:30 the tip-off, and then that action will start with our countdown to tip-off at 6:15 as we welcome you back inside of Studio B. We'll get back out to Hanson, Mass. in a bit. Fitchburg and Whitman Hanson, 24-20. Fitchburg on top at the half. Action here on the K-Zone. And Kate's first half stats, they're brought to you by Cinema World. Experience more of what you love at a place you love. Cinema World, Fitchburg, the way the movies were meant to be seen on the silver screen. Kate, Cinema World brings your first half stats.
All right, let's first take a look at the Whitman Hanson Panthers side of the ball. Obviously, the 4-point deficit that they find themselves in is the stat of the moment. But other team totals, 16 rebounds, no steals, 11 turnovers. They shot 1 of 3 as a team from the line. Individual notable statistics for the Panthers. Champagne has 5 points thus far in the first half. Jamison with 3 points, but most importantly, also with 3 fouls, and he has been a defensive force for Whitman Hanson. Valancourt, 4 points. Mason with 2. Alcorn Crowder on the inside with a team-high 6 points, one of which came from the slam. If we take a look now at the Fitchburg Red Raiders side of things, once again, they find themselves with a 4-point advantage going into the second half. Team totals, 20 rebounds, 4 steals, 9 turnovers for your Red Raiders. They shot 2 of 2 from the line as a team. Both of those free throws being made by De Leon. He has 4 first half points. Thomas and Caputi both have a team high 6 points in the first half. All 6 of Caputi's points coming in the second quarter. Kutka got pretty quiet in the second quarter. No second quarter points for Kutka, but right now he has 5 points for the Red Raiders, and that is your first half stat sheet.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. Bringing us the first half stats
What timing?
here tonight. I was going to say great
Well
timing, just
done.
seconds before we head back out to the gym in Hanson. But Bill Thomas, it's time for your mid-game adjustments. They're brought to you by Game On Sports and Performance Center, where the game is always on. It's Game On Fitchburg. Call 978-956-4111 or go to GameOnFitchburg.com to book your sports getaway today. Game On Sports and Performance Center brings you Bill Thomas's mid-game adjustments.
Well, Red Rays got to find control Alcon Crowder on both ends of the court. I think we're just waiting to see him take over on both ends. You know, we saw that slam. He's been very active, rebounding, even bringing the ball up the court. You know, he's somebody that looks like they can take over the game, and I think that's what the Panthers are going to need if they're going to match up what we're seeing from Fitchburg tonight. Very active defensively, getting their share of offense and carrying this 24-20 lead as we start the third quarter.
And away we go. Third quarter action. Panthers go right to left here in quarter number 3.
Just to add on Fitchburg's end, you know, you got to find a way. Thompson DeLeon only had 10 in the first half. You know, they're averaging over 35 combined a game. They got to find a way to ramp it up.
And the second half begins the same way with a giveaway. Red Raiders with the basketball. Come back down floor right to left. Caputi from Thomas, and Caputi's jumper. Foul line extended will go.
Caputi coming off 9 in that game against North Middlesex, and he's almost reached that total. And he's really keeping him in the game here
8 points
early
so far
on.
for him.
Jamison with the response. Hits a 3 of his own from the right side.
Neither team wasting any time getting on the board here in this third quarter.
Here comes the offensive explosion. 50 seconds into this third quarter, it's 26-23, Fitchburg with the lead and control half court to the right. Kutka playing catch with DeLeon. Kutka gets it back, 3 away, won't go. Crowder the rebound. And here come the Panthers from right to left. This is Jamison, slash down the lane, through the defense, lays it in and good. Kate Jamison has been a one-man wrecking crew for the Panthers.
He has, especially in this quarter. We talked about his defensive prowess. Obviously struggling a little bit with the fouls. He's got 3 of them, but 5 third quarter points already for Jamison.
DeLeon with the 3 from the right side. That one won't go. And a rebound down for the Panthers. Chance to take the lead at the 6:20 mark here of the third quarter. Down just 1 at 26-25 Fitchburg. Try to jump the lane again, did DeLeon. He made contact with Jamison, so DeLeon will pick up the foul for Fitchburg.
That'll be his second team first of the second half, pardon me.
Valancourt with the basketball for the Panthers, going right to left. With the entry pass, gets it tapped right back to him for Jamison. Now goes to Masoni and gets it back. Panthers going with a much more disciplined half-court swing of the basketball here to start the second half.
Looking to get it into Crowder every time they pass the ball around. Looking to him first.
And this one gets tapped away by Thomas. Down floor for DeLeon. He gets mugged by Valancourt. And DeLeon's going to the line to shoot 2.
Nice break right there. Way to take advantage of that. Pull the defense in.
Valancourt picks up his first. It'll be team first to the second half.
That sends Donovan DeLeon, the senior, to the line, wearing the blue raspberry high tops tonight to go with his brick red top, brick red bottom, trimmed in white and black. Fitchburg across the chest for the brick red and gray as DeLeon hits the first.
3 of 3 from the line for DeLeon and for the team of Fitchburg.
I was going to say, he's been the only one to
He's been the only one to the line.
Fitchburg perfect so far. Of course, we probably just jinxed them
It's
like
the shoes.
announcers usually do.
It's the shoes.
DeLeon queued up for the second, and down that one goes as well. 28-25, Fitchburg's lead is 3, just under 6 minutes. 5:50 and counting to play here in the third.
Thank goodness for that, Bill Thomas. Otherwise, we would have been absolutely blamed.
I wouldn't have spoken again about free throws ever.
Half court left, Panthers with the basketball, home white tops, white bottoms, trimmed in black and red. Crowder in the lane, up with the shot on Ayala, and Ayala gives the foul. Crowder will go to the line, should be shooting 2.
The way the Panthers are running their offense here early in the third quarter, they're definitely looking for Crowder. They're playing the perimeter, but every perimeter passes, they're looking inside to see if the zone's collapsing, and got it into Crowder, and he gets himself to the line.
And they're trying to front the big man, Bill Thomas,
Yeah,
as Crowder
I
hits the
noticed that.
first. Try to get out in front of him, try to body up against him, make him feel their presence. But right now, with Dyer on the bench. The Red Raiders, they just physically, they are faster in this formation, but physically they cannot compete with the presence of Alcorn Crowder, who hits the second. And then the immediate giveaway. And then Champagney gives it away again. Coming back the other way, this is Kutka to the rim. Lay-in will not go. And Masoni the rebound. Teams exchange giveaways.
Even though Crowder didn't get a block, he definitely bothered him on the way to the basket.
Jamison with a baseline pass to Champagney. Left corner three. Crowd was queuing it up. Wasn't able to get it to go. Crowder tapped the rebound. And the loose ball was run down by De Leon in the left wing. And then the foul given away in transition as Malcolm Alcorn Crowder scrambles back into the play-in, reaches in on the drive by De Leon.
Yeah, not a good foul by him there. Way out of position, and nothing happening out there. Not quick enough to get that steal, but he did pick up a foul.
Luckily for Alcorn Crowder, that is his first,
Yeah.
team second.
I just
of
noticed
the second
that,
half.
yeah. Maybe he felt time to be aggressive, maybe. He knew that.
Had a couple to give.
And there's a walk called on the subsequent action as De Leon skidded the pivot foot, and the ball will go back to the Panthers. 28-27, Fitchburg on top of Whitman Hanson. 4:55 to play here in the third quarter.
So I'm going to make something happen here. I'm going to mention something. We haven't had a held ball yet the entire game.
Great point. That one's tapped away. Red Raiders with another turnover. To the lane, the shot for Thomas won't go. Masoni the rebound.
Which kind of surprises me with both active defenses that we haven't had a couple of tie-ups.
Jamison drive back down the lane. Whistle went off before the shot went up. This foul should be on the floor. It's a push called against the red and gray.
That one, however, will be De Leon's third. He's picked up 2 quick ones here in the second half, so that's going to become a problem. He's likely going to need to sit for a few minutes.
One key senior leader for both teams with 3 fouls. De Leon for Fitchburg, Jamison for Whitman Hanson as Jamison hits the first to tie us at 28 all. 4:31 to play in the third quarter.
Jameson's starting to rack up the points here in the third quarter. He has 6 third quarter points for the Panthers.
Yeah, he's playing with 3, and I think we're going to see De Leon continue to play with 3. You can't afford to have him on the bench.
He just went out on the bench,
Did
though.
he?
Yep.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at 3.
Shoes are gone.
You're right.
That's right. Winner of
I should look at the
Just look for
raspberry
the
blue.
shoes.
That's right. Look for the blue raspberry, just like the old fashioned Slurpee there, as that second one goes down for Jamison and gives Whitman Hanson the lead once again at 29-28. 4:31 to play in the third. Their leads tonight have been short-lived. 1.2 points. That's all the Panthers have managed, maybe for a possession or 2. They have not had a sustained lead. As Thomas tries to launch up a 3 from the right wing, it won't go. Rebound down for Crowder. Took it right away from MIAA.
It was like a bear taking a fish right out
I'll
of the
take
water.
that. Jamison's got the ball in transition, drive the lane, missed the shot. Crowder the follow-on, and the kiss, and down goes the ball. 31-28. The lead for Whitman Hanson, halfway mark of the third.
Alcorn Crowder now with a team-high 10 points for the Panthers.
How many in this third quarter, Kate?
4.
4. They knew they were going to try to concentrate on him, and that's exactly what they've done, and it's paying off.
Jeffrey swings the basketball to Kutka for the Red Raiders, half court to the right. Kutka gets it right back from Thomas. 3 away and buries it. 31 all. 3:35 to play here in the third quarter.
Kutka, first time on the offensive stat sheet since the first quarter. He had no points in the second, but nice, beautiful 3 there in the third.
Second 3 of the evening, I believe.
You've got it.
Kutka.
Champagney playing catch cross court with Valancourt. Now goes to the far right corner for Baker. Entry pass for Crowder. Got behind a double team. Had it taken away from him. And that's Doug Dyer making his presence felt.
Over the back and got away with one. Good job right there. All ball.
And the Red Raiders with the basketball at the top of the key. This is Thomas. Thomas for Ayala in the right corner. Triple threat position. Chose the baseline drive. The kiss, scrape, and down it goes for 2. Red Raiders reclaim the lead at 33-31. Panthers with the basketball, half court left. It's Jamison for Champagney in the right corner. 15 to shoot on the possession. 2.5 to play here in the third. Champagney gets the setup from Jamison. Right corner 3 won't go. Crowder the follow. Cleans up the glass. Down goes the shot. Plus a foul.
tell you, he's got a knack for keeping that ball above his head. He doesn't bring it down, doesn't let the defense reach in on him, and it just puts it right back up. Nice job right there.
Absolutely invaluable on the interior.
He looks like he could be playing with somebody at the next level.
Oh, you got that right.
They got to be
We'll
looking
playing
at
on
him.
Tuesdays and Saturdays.
I think he will.
And down goes that one to complete the three-point play and reclaim the lead for Whitman Hanson at 34-33.
Big guy, 3 of 3 from the line for the Panthers tonight
And
as well.
that is so important if you're going to play a physical presence and people are going to body up on you. If you can take that hack-a-shack model and you can hit the free throws, makes you an invaluable player inside.
It's been pretty special tonight.
The bounce pass for Ayala found its way to Thomas, who kissed the pass to Kutka, who drove the baseline left and floated the lay-in good.
Little confusion there, and luckily that ball didn't end up out of bounds on the baseline, but nice recovery there. It leads to a easy 2.
Not only that, floating that ball.
Picked it, pocket.
And another steal. It's Kutka, left to right, lay-in. Put 2 more on the board.
Quickness on display right there, just dribbled it right out of his hand.
1:40 to play here in the third quarter. It's 37-34, Fitchburg's lead.
Fitchburg in a 2-1-2 zone here.
Jamison launches one from the college 3. It got deflected out of play. Last touched by Crowder, and it's Fitchburg basketball.
Doing a good job, too, jumping around on that zone and not letting the pass beat him. That's what they're trying to do with that cross-court pass, is get the ball to the open guy on the weak side. Red Raiders doing a good job covering that up.
Final 89 seconds here of the third quarter. Kutka able to bounce it along, find Jeffries. Then in the left corner, Jeffries gets it right back, slashing down the lane. And he walked with it, and the ball will go back to Whitman Hanson.
Alcorn Crowder there with the defense, and I think he changed the thought process and created that travel. Never got his hands on the ball, but give him some kind of credit for that turnover.
The irresistible force meets the immovable object. The immovable object wins that time. 1:16 to play here in the third quarter, 37-34. Fitchburg's lead. Panthers with the basketball, coming right to left. Valancourt goes cross court for Jamison. Tried to go back to Valancourt, mishandled it out of play.
And that sloppy passing had been rectified for the most part by the end of the first half. And so it's been a rarity here in the third, but it is something that will be a momentum killer.
The partisan Panther crowd tries to get themselves rallied up and rally the defense of their team, showing an extended 2-3 zone. Medina waits for a defender to blow by, spots up a 3, and hits.
His first time on the stat sheet tonight.
You know, and I'm looking down the other end. He's trying to front crowd whenever he gets in the high post there, and I tell you, it's a tough task.
The response opportunity will not go for Baker, and the rebound comes down for Ayala. About a half-second differential, shot clock to game clock. The drive down the lane, Crowder swats it away from Caputi, but it sets up an Ayala 3. That one won't go. The follow-on shot won't go either, and the rebound down for Baker.
Student body just out of control with that sequence right there, too.
Shot clock off, Jamison jump stop, absorbed the contact, lay in good. And a timeout taken on the floor. Stops the clock with 7 seconds to play here in the third.
Jamison with 9 third quarter points for the Panthers.
And playing with those 3 fouls, too.
I believe that was a warning for tapping the basketball after the made basket.
Something else going on.
Yeah, and now there's a conversation ensuing in the gym. They're trying to reset the clock.
Oh, they took, that was 9.1 on, I think when they called that when they blew that whistle and lost a couple of, wow, what was that?
And that one just fired at the rim with 7 seconds left. Turns into a great pass. The jumper will go for Jeffries, and that is the way the third quarter will close.
That was strange.
Chaotic basketball benefits the Red Raiders. Everything comes up red and gray in the third. It's Fitchburg 42 and Whitman Hanson 36 through 3 quarters in this playoff play-in game tonight.
You don't draw that up, but it worked.
Clearly some shot clock confusion.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, it worked, whatever it was.
Whoa.
Game of the week.
Last second basket.
Here on the K-Zone, brought to you by Leominster Monument, the home of quality craftsmanship for over 40 years at Leominster Monument Company. Memories are forever. Online at leominstermonument.com. do some great work on granite posts. You want to have some numbers, put on a mailbox, get some granite stairs, and of course, for all your memory needs as well, it's Leominster Monument. Do phenomenal work. Do the folks at Leominster Monument Company. 42-36. Fitchburg's lead, the 39th overall seed with their 10-10 overall record, representing Central Massachusetts in this statewide play-in game, playing the 26th seed Whitman Hanson. 12-10 during the regular season, hosting this play-in round and leading through 3 quarters at 42-36. Bill Thomas, your thoughts are brought to you by Daewoo North Superstore. At Daewoo North, find the perfect car you deserve, priced to fit your budget, online at DaewooSuperstore.com. What do both teams have to do in the final frame?
Well, the Red Raiders, I think, did a good job stretching their lead a little bit there in the third quarter, but they got to just show some patience here. Limit the Panthers' possessions, of course, cut down on turnovers, all the cliches, but it's really, I think, this fourth quarter on Whitman Hanson's side is going to flow around Crowder.
And let the fourth quarter begin. Red Raiders with the basketball, moving left to right.
I think you're right, Bill Thomas. It's going to be the anybody but Alcorn Crowder game for Fitchburg. Let anybody else have a touch.
Jeffries pulls up in the right wing over a double team, and down goes the 2. 25 seconds into this fourth and final quarter. Despite what it might say on your screen, it's 44-36. Valancourt gets the find from Jamison. The 3, too strong. Rebound for Jeffries. Turns it immediately left to right. Drives down to the paint. Pulls up for 2. Short, but the follow-on by Caputi. Lay in good.
Johnny on the spot right there, and Caputi really making his presence felt tonight.
46-36, the lead right now for the Red Raiders is 10. 1 minute into this fourth and final quarter of regulation. Jamison, the drive, kick to the corner. Baker 3, won't go. Rebound brought down by Ayala in the lane.
The Crowder bailing out on that pass there, on that shot instead of staying home for the offensive rebound. No Panthers under the basket there. Cleared out nicely by Fitchburg.
Down on the right baseline. The inside out Ayala for Medina. Bounce pass to the right elbow. Pull up for Caputi, and down it goes.
He's got that 15-footer working tonight, and the rest of the team knows that he was looking for him all the way, and he pays off.
Timeout, Whitman Hanson, 6:33 to play in the third, and Coach Bob Rogers wants to talk to his team as the Red Raider lead has swelled to 12. It's 48-36, Fitchburg's lead at this point in the fourth and final quarter.
And that escalated quickly. Bill Thomas right now, Whitman Hanson, no fourth quarter points for them, and Fitchburg's lead goes from 6 to 12 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, a minute and a half here in this fourth quarter, and Panthers have gotten away from Crowder. They turned into a jump shooting team here the last couple of minutes.
Indeed, they have. Kate, what stands out on your stat sheet through 3 quarters in the early part here of the fourth?
Couple of things. Fitchburg doing a nice job diversifying their offensive scoring. They have 7 different Red Raiders now in on this offensive party. Nice to see. We've seen them do a nicer job as they've diversified who is touching the basketball. In addition to that, you have a situation in which I think that Fitchburg early on in this last 90 seconds is showing a lot of discipline, particularly on the offensive end. They know right now they are nursing a lead. They can take their time. They can wait for a great look. They don't need to go up there and bomb a 3 right away. They want to look for multiple shot opportunities on the offensive end. They want to take their time, and they want to limit the ability for Crowder to touch the ball on the offensive end.
And Bill Thomas, for this Red Raider team, their defense is now starting to create offense.
Yeah, it's that zone. You know, they're pulling it out a little bit, but let's not get careless here.
And a reach-in foul by Jeffries as the Panthers bring the ball into the front court left.
That'll be his first team 5th for the Red Raiders.
You know, as it stands right now, Red Raiders up, you could look at it as +6 possessions here, and they can't give away those +6 possessions with turnovers and bad shot selection.
Yep.
Baker into the corner for Jamison. 3 from the right wing doesn't go. And Caputi muscles over Crowder for the rebound.
Can't get
and the
careless.
immediate giveaway in the middle of the floor, and then there's a foul on the loose ball action. That could go either way.
And I think that they're going to bill a Red Raider on this one, and that's just what you can't do.
Coach James McCall is apoplectic coming off of his sideline, still pleading his case to anybody wearing the vertical stripes.
That becomes Medina's first, but more importantly, team 6th. Right now on the other side of the ball, The Panthers are 6 of 8 as a team from the line, so they have been absolute sharpshooters from the free throw line. And if Fitchburg gives up one more foul here in the fourth quarter, they're going to start sending the Panthers to the line, and they have been lights out.
And Kutka has to check out of the basketball game as the Panthers have the basketball coming right to left up the floor, chasing 12. Three-pointer away for Baker on the right side, doesn't go. The rebound from Masoni from the left side won't go. Caputi the rebound, gets caught in a double team, and then there's a foul coming over the back. They're going to call Masoni for coming around and trying to get the ball away for Caputi.
Well, good job right there, quick foul. I mean, a lot of those tie-ups, you wonder why isn't a foul called when the player clearly has the ball and everybody's reaching in and grabbing arms and balls and wrists, but good job right there by the officials.
Indeed, jumped all over that one and whistled the play dead.
They billed Baker.
Interesting.
They billed 11, not 45.
De Leon drives to the paint, kicks to the left corner, three-pointer launched and delivered by Rivera.
So the Red Raiders now are really feeling the Panthers are going to
drive down the lane, and there's body contact galore. It looks like the block is going to be called against Fitchburg.
I think we're going to see the Panthers start rushing the offense now, and hopefully this will play into the Red Raiders' game plan of getting some defensive rebounds, controlling the rest of the clock.
Medina picks up his second, team 7th. That'll put the Panthers into the bonus.
And Kate, a correction on that three.
Medina.
It was Medina that hit the three.
Yep.
Jameson at the line, shooting 2.
The Panthers will be shooting the rest of the way also.
And the first one goes down. They told him it was a 1-and-1, so that foul was on the floor.
And Bill Thomas, not only that, first point of the fourth quarter for the Panthers. 5:27.
Yeah, it comes at the 5:27 mark of the fourth. Makes it 51-37. They're still chasing uphill.
Yeah, Red Rays been on a 9-0 run there to start this quarter.
And down goes the second one for Jameson. Coach Rogers' group, Kate, used the word lights out, and they have been that and then some from the foul line.
8 of 10.
Caputi gets the pass, set up from De Leon. Missed the shot from the tough angle. Rebound back down floor. It's Valancourt to the rim. He gets taken out, but it looks like they're signaling the foul is on the floor on the rebounding action after the missed shot. Oh no, they're scoring the basket, so it is a goaltend. Basket goes down.
Who was that on the?
Valancourt's basket is good, and it is ruled a goaltend.
So it's no foul. Just whistle for the goaltend.
Correct.
Inbounds. Red Raiders inbound. They got to show a little more patience. The last 2 times up the court, I don't think they've taken 10 seconds off the clock.
And that's, of course, one of those cases, Bill Thomas, they talk about learning how to win basketball games, and right now that's about knowing you're up 11,
Take your time.
taking your time, use that shot clock. Falling is Medina and giving up the basketball.
Crowder helped him up. He bumped him, and then he picked him up off the court.
And that's great sportsmanship. Meanwhile, the action went up floor, and there's a skid, and that's going to be called the block as Jameson rolled over the top of Medina. But in both cases out there on the floor, it really looks like the offensive players lost their feet. Got to imagine maybe there's a little bit of a sheen developing on the floor with all these bodies hitting the playing surface.
Could be. Medina kind of, not really, but kind of had position, but he wasn't totally in front of him. I think that was a good call. Kind of got run over.
First of the 1-and-1 doesn't go, but Baker got the rebound.
See if they can make this pay off with that offensive rebound off that missed foul shot.
Champigny for Jameson from a deep 3 does not go. Baker the follow for 2 doesn't go either. And the rebound out for Caputi, and he does a great job using his body
Panthers
to create
come
space
up
in the
empty
basketball.
there with 3 opportunities, including that foul shot.
And all of a sudden, the clock is the 6th man on the floor for the Red Raiders. 4:20 to play here in the fourth. Pass comes to Ayala, top of the key right, and Champigny reaches in and gives the foul.
They've got plenty to give.
Yeah, they can play tough defense here down the stretch. They still got 2 fouls they can give before they put the Red Raiders at the line.
4:20 to play here in the fourth quarter. 51-40 is the lead for Fitchburg. Winner of this one goes to the round of 32. They get the 7 seed Norwood at Norwood on Friday night at 6:30. Long 2 for De Leon from the left. Doesn't go. Crowder the uncontested rebound.
I wouldn't contest a rebound anywhere near him.
No
either.
reason to. All you're going to do is give up a foul in there.
You just become shaded because he's going to jump over you.
Champigny gets the feed from Jamison, and Champigny delivers a three from the right
The Panthers
side.
find a way for 5 quick runs, but
The Red Raiders with
come
the
right
response. Thomas gets the bounce entry from MIAA and finishes at the rim.
not wasting any time on that possession, taking advantage of an easy inside shot.
Valancourt launches three from the left. Tapped, will not go. Champigny dribbles it out of trouble. Sets up a long two. That one won't go. And down with the rebound comes Jeffries.
Hate to see all the defensive players back off him like that, though. He had a wide open look.
Basically daring him to make it.
Oh, what a
The
nice
cut
give
down
and
the
go.
lane for Caputi. He gets fouled, couldn't finish the lay-in, but Caputi's got two coming from the line.
Pretty pick and roll right there off of that screen, and immediately broke for the line, took that bounce pass. Nice job right there. It takes a lot of work to get that timing down.
That's Jamison's fourth, though, for Whitman Hanson, team fifth.
I don't anticipate he's coming out of the game, though, Kate. He's probably riding it out.
He's got 14 points for the
Got to.
team.
He's got to stay on the court.
And Caputi's first will go down.
Big basket right there, too.
Caputi.
And he's
with
been the
11
guy.
11 points for the Red
And
Raiders.
is he perfect from the line, hopefully?
One of one,
One
yes.
of one. Tell you, he's been the guy tonight. Really come up big.
Fitchburg is a team 6 of 6 from the
gonna
line
say,
tonight.
you
As
took
the
my
second one
thought.
for Caputi goes
They haven't
down
missed.
as well. And a timeout on the floor, timeout taken by the Red Raiders. 3:11 to play here in the fourth quarter. They've got a 55-43, does the red and gray. Pop over and take a look at a little bonus coverage action we have going on here. Won't be able to get it up for those of you on RFM, but for those of you joining us here on the K-Zone and on RFM, 15 and a half seconds left in the fourth quarter. And Newburyport is on their way to an upset win over home team Marblehead, 75-61.
Wow.
Waning seconds there. 2-point basket will not go. Newburyport the rebound, and they will dribble it out. Final score from Marblehead tonight. The Clippers of Newburyport clip the wings of the Magicians, 75-61. Newburyport advances on to the round of 32, and Newburyport will come to the gym at Leominster High School. It will be Newburyport at Leominster on Friday night, 6:30, and the countdown to tip-off 6:15 on the next K-Zone Game of the Week. I love this playoff action.
Bill Thomas, I've got a question. What
Yeah.
magician do you know has wings to be clipped?
Yeah, I know, and I was wondering why the Magicians couldn't make the Clippers disappear.
Exactly. Come on,
But they
Todd.
couldn't tonight.
We're
As
over
it-
here wondering where
I
you're.
love it.
As it
Slacker.
turns out, the Magicians have disappeared.
They've disappeared.
They are no
themselves.
longer a part
Alakazam.
of this tournament. That's
All
right.
right, back to basketball.
Back to basketball we go, coming out of the timeout. Red Raiders looking to advance on. Pick up another upset here in this play-in round. 55-43, 3 minutes to play. Initial three-pointer opportunity does not go for Crowder, but the rebound for Baker and the put-in is good for two. The lead is 10 at 55-45, 2:48 to play here in the fourth.
Limit possessions right here. Use clock.
The handoff. This is De Leon at the top of the key. Now drives to the right. He'll hand off for Kutka. Work the little weave to Thomas.
Take your time.
Thomas with 7 to shoot into the lane. Hands for Caputi. Absorbs the contact from Crowder. The shot won't go, and Caputi goes skidding into the bench. And another player is Thomas going over to help. He slips and falls. Right now, I got to
Something
imagine
on that
the
court.
humidity inside the gym tonight in Hanson, Mass. is a little bit slick.
That's hot.
Yeah, it looks like, and the players are kind of shuffling their feet around to get a better feel for it here as they line up for this first foul shot by Caputi.
Alcorn Crowder picks up his second, team 6 of the second half.
Caputi can't get the first one to go. All I know is it's a little warm here inside Studio B tonight as we continue with our coverage. Thanks to the great folks at Whitman Hanson for allowing us to see the action tonight, be able to bring it to you here on the K-Zone for our Game of the Week, as well as right here on RFM. Great action we've enjoyed here in the play-in round. This tournament's just getting underway as these teams are playing in to the 32-team bracket. 56-45 Red Raider lead. Champigny, 3 from the left, won't go. Jeffries crashes on the rebound with Jamison. Ball out of play. Last touch by Fitchburg. Valancourt will inbound for the Panthers.
Panthers have kind of decided their way back into this game is to bomb away and hope for the best.
The inbound, it's for Jamison, drives to the paint. He was looking for Champigny. It was too long, out of play into the front row, and the ball will go back to Fitchburg. 2:07 to play in the fourth quarter. 56-45 is Fitchburg's lead.
Called Champagne, I believe, at the half. Way to go. Way to go, me.
I've had a couple of different pronunciations throughout the night. The drive down the lane, it's Thomas with the little half hook on the drive, and down it will go.
Half hook with the left hand on top of it, Todd.
1:45 to play here in the fourth. 58-45. And Thomas thought he got the ball clean. Instead, he's called for the grab. Foul on the floor. Crowder will go to the line, shooting 1-1.
That'll be De Leon's fourth, team ninth for Fitchburg of the half.
So De Leon was the second defender.
Luckily, there's only 1:43 left. But Crowder right now, 3 of 3 from the line.
And the Red Raiders have overcome far more fouls as Crowder hits the first from the line in this exchange, and that was a concern of mine coming into this one. If the Red Raiders got behind, giving up more fouls, would they be able to hang in the game? Would they maintain their discipline? Coach James McCall's group has been incredibly disciplined tonight.
Well, they've played around that foul trouble for sure tonight, but to tell you, nothing like watching a big man hit his foul shots.
Crowder drills another one, 58-47. And an immediate walk by Caputi off the inbound, unforced. There were no Panthers in the back court. The ball will go back to Whitman Hanson.
Pick that back foot up before he got the ball onto the court. Official right on top of it. A little quick with the whistle, but, you know, if it's going to happen, it's a good lesson to be learned right here with a lead.
1:40 to play in the fourth. The inbound for Valancourt. Sets up a three for Baker, and Baker delivers.
Right away. Coach McCall wants to talk about this. I'm not sure who called that timeout, but a lot of discussions going on here.
Very lucky were the Red Raiders not to pick up a foul on that last shot.
95 seconds left in regulation. Fitchburg with a 58-50 lead. And they are talking things over on their bench. You see Coach James McCall. He's brought together his assistant coaches, including Greg Graham, Matt Lamey, Cedric Robinson, and Mike Baltier, all over there for the red and gray. And they're now going to report out to their team what the final plan will be. Final 95 seconds of regulation in this play-in game. What does a win mean for both schools? The winner for this one is forced to go on the road from a play-in game. It's a 26-39 matchup here. The winner plays the 7th overall statewide seed in Division II on Friday night at Norwood.
Looks like the Panthers making a couple of defensive changes. I expect them to press this inbounds and play tough defense. They got to give up a foul or two. They don't want it to be built to one of their offensive plays. A little offense for defense and defense for offense every possession down the stretch here for the Panthers.
On the game reset, a tie-up would favor Whitman Hanson. They've got the possession arrow. Fouls 9-6, 9 against the Red Raiders, 6 called against Whitman Hanson. So both teams will shoot the rest of the way. Whitman Hanson will shoot 2 on the next Red Raider foul. Red Raiders with the basketball, and they can run the baseline after the make.
He can run the baseline. I don't think he knew it.
He went into a triple team. Found it for Jeffries, who dribbled it into the front court, and then Baker reached in to give the foul and then said, oh, no, I didn't do it. But the foul was already whistled. It's the 7th called against Whitman Hanson, which means the Red Raiders will go to the line with a 1-and-1 opportunity.
Masoni picks up his second, team 7th.
K-Zone Game of the Week brought to you by LeBlanc's Collision Center. You have the right to choose your auto body repair company, and LeBlanc's of Fitchburg is committed to helping you. 51 River Street in Fitchburg and online at LeBlanc'sAutoBodyRepair.com. First one will not go, and here come the Panthers back up floor. Ball was deflected out of play by De Leon in transition. Panthers will keep the basketball. Final 85 seconds of regulation.
3-possession game right now, and Red Raiders got to find a way to play some tough defense here. Oh, and there it is.
And there's the pick, but out of play across the sideline. Thomas, he did it right on the doorstep, Bill Thomas. Not enough room.
But still, nice active defense right there.
Valancourt for a wide open Champigny off the inbound. 3 won't go. Baker the rebound. He missed the shot from the doorstep. De Leon the rebound. Up floor he goes in transition. Finds Thomas out on the break, and he lays it in for 2.
Nice job right there. No hesitation. Got down court. Beat the defense.
Red Raider lead is 10 in the final minute here of the fourth quarter. A Valancourt desperation three won't go. He gets reloaded. He'll swing to the near side for Jamison. Jamison into the lane. Swings to Champigny. In the corner, Baker. A three. He's fouled. The three will go. And he's going to go to the line to shoot two. It's a three plus a bonus opportunity.
Wow. Very fortuitous turn of events right there for the Panthers. A lot of perimeter passing up some easy shots for that three-pointer, and they found it.
And that ball went around and around and around and down before the three-pointer went.
And that is De Leon's
Fifth. I
Oh,
see that.
my.
So costly both ways. What's he get out? What's he foul out with, Kate?
He ends his night with 12 points.
Yeah, right what he had in his last game. I mean, he found a way in the second half to find 8 points, but you're going to miss him.
And just like that, it's a 6-point game as the free throw goes. And then the immediate foul is given at 48 and 9/10 left here in the fourth quarter. A 60-54 Red Raider lead that all of a sudden went from 10 and felt like maybe they were nearing the end to a tenuous 6.
And Kutka on the line here, and biggest foul shots he's probably attempted in his career up to this point.
Kutka right now with 12 points for the Red Raiders. This is his first time to the line on the evening.
Started the season as a junior varsity player and is now a seasoned varsity ball handler and that calming presence on the Red Raider side of the floor. Kutka, ice water, hits the first.
That adds a possession to the sequence here, makes that a 3-possession game. Huge foul shot right there.
Second opportunity here for Kutka will also go. 62-54 Fitchburg.
You would never guess he started the season on the JV, and now he's the point guard.
Valancourt sets up a Baker three, and he delivers another. It's 62-57.
12 fourth quarter points for Baker, his only points on the night.
Red Raiders beat the press into the front court right, and then the foul is given away from the basketball.
Looks like Caputi, I think, is that going to the line?
Yeah, it looks like it. So they fouled Caputi. They'll send him to the line with 32 and 2/10 left here in the fourth. 62-57, Fitchburg's lead. Ryan Baker, the freshman, has been bombing this team back into the basketball game.
He doesn't know any better.
Ignorance is bliss.
Exactly right, Kate. But I tell you, right, a big basket there because now that creates a positive 2-possession game. Yeah. Red Raiders are finding a way to maintain a slight advantage here mathematically, but Panthers doing everything they can to bring this right down to the buzzer.
Caputi hit the first. Second does not go. And the rebound uncontested for Champigny. And here come the Panthers. Down floor from right to left. Baker is set up on the left side of the floor this time, but Jamison with the basketball straight away. Drive down the lane, takes it to the window, lays it in and good. 63-59. Immediate full court pressure. The inbound. Caputi put it in the hands of Thomas, who goes cross court for Kutka, and they'll give the foul there. 12 and 3/10 seconds left here in the fourth.
Dangerous pass right there, but the Red Raiders able to pull it off. You know how we love those cross court passes, Kate, especially in the backcourt.
Such fun.
And Kutka will go to the line. 63-59.
Raises
Red
the
Raider
blood pressure.
lead. 12 and a half seconds left here in the fourth. Kutka right in front of the student section for the Panthers. Hits the first. It was a guaranteed 2 on the 10th foul by the Panthers. A tie-up, remember, favors Whitman Hanson. They still have the possession arrow. Second one goes down for Kutka, and Coach James McCall takes the timeout at 12 and 3/10 seconds left here in the fourth.
Once again, creates that positive 2-possession game.
Bill and Todd, Fitchburg tonight from the line as a team, 12 of 14.
Wow.
12 of 14.
That'll win you most games.
And right now, it certainly is bolstering this Red Raider lead. 12 and 3/10 seconds left in regulation. 65-59. Both teams are in the bonus, the double bonus. They'll both shoot 2 free throws on a foul. The possession arrow favors Whitman Hanson on a tie-up. And there is foul trouble still looming on the floor on both sides.
Oh, there's lots. Oh, there's lots.
You know, you were talking about the Red Raiders foul shooting prowess. What do we got on the other side?
11 of 14.
11 of 14. Both teams. I mean, any level, any team from biddy league up through the pros would take those kind of stats on any given night. We're seeing them matching two high school teams matching each other at the line.
Indeed they are, and of course showing that's why every practice ends with free throws. It's for just these kinds of nights. Shot clock is off. Panthers will have the basketball.
Got to go the length of the court here.
And they need a quick 2 or a 3. Red Raiders, full court man. They inbound for Crowder. Crowder bounces it back. This is for Baker. Baker, the freshman, left side drive. Lay-in is good. 5.5 seconds left in the fourth. Timeout taken by the Panthers.
Good job. Timeout because the Red Raiders could have stood there and basically let the clock run out without having to inbound.
I don't know where Baker's been for the last 3 quarters, but he has 14 fourth quarter points.
Wow.
He had no points in the first, second, or the third. Was he in the locker room? Was he in a locker? Did someone put him in a locker?
Have no clue.
And then they let him out? He's been unbelievable.
Cannot miss at this point in time. 5 3/10 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. 65-61.
People are leaving. Where are you going?
I was going to say,
huh?
come on back.
Where are you going?
I don't think Baker's done yet.
I was going to say, and
He's
that's
hit-
the whole thing.
He's hit 3 threes, 2 twos, and a free throw.
Off a made 3.
Off a made 3
That's right.
and
It was
was
a 4-point
fouled. It was
play.
a 4-point
That's
play.
right.
Wow, he's definitely kept the Panthers in this game in the fourth
This kid
quarter.
should be anointed.
He's done everything but throw
The
one in
future
from,
is
from
bright
half court.
for Coach Bob
As
Rogers.
long
yeah.
as they remember to put him on the court.
I
before
was
the
going to
fourth.
say. K-Zone game of the week. Another dandy here on the K-Zone this season. Everything coming up K-Zone this year. We have had nothing but fantastic basketball games all year long. And with our partners at RFM, great to have you with us tonight from Leominster, Massachusetts in Studio B and all the way to Hanson, Massachusetts and on back to all points in between here in North Central. Thank the great folks at Whitman Hanson for providing the feed tonight. The inbound immediately for Thomas. Foul is given immediately. Stops the clock with 4 8/10 seconds left here in the fourth. We'll send Thomas to the line to shoot 2.
You know, I wish I knew what the foul count, the timeout count was left on the Panthers side because it's kind of immaterial right now. You don't have to inbounds even on a Panthers basket.
Can't advance the ball in a timeout in high school.
And if Panthers don't have a timeout after a made basket, that would be pretty much all she wrote.
Thomas is first. Rattles out.
See how this plays out here. So one stat we don't have is timeouts remaining.
They have some.
They have some?
Yeah, they've got like 3. I started counting and then it stopped.
A flurry of action ensued.
There was math involved.
But they still got to travel the length of the court. You're right, Todd. They can't advance it.
Thomas missed the first
And
and the
that's,
second, but the rebound is for Caputi. And they have to give another foul. Valancourt will give the foul. 3 7/10 left here in the fourth quarter.
Hard rebound came out over everybody right there.
You got the 2 misses you need, and then you couldn't come up with the rebound if you're Coach Bob Rogers' Panthers. Officials will converse. Might have been talking about the clock.
4 of 6 on the night is Caputi from the line for the Red Raiders.
No changes made, and Caputi's got a mandatory 2 at the line. That one won't go.
All of a sudden, we talk about foul shooting, and they put a lid on the basket.
Tough time for the Red Raiders to start missing free throws. 3 7/10 left in regulation. Caputi with the ball in his hands at the foul line. And a 4-point lead. He missed again. The rebound down for Masoni. Masoni with the desperation heave. He was stuck at the baseline, and that's the way this one will end. The Red Raiders erupt on the floor. They did the seemingly impossible. They got on the bus. They rode over an hour and a half to the game tonight for their opening play-in round. They played a team that qualified in the top 32, and the Red Raiders have won their 11th game of the season, and they qualify for the round of 32 on Friday night. They'll play the 7th seed Norwood, who's waiting in the wings.
Tell you, it's great to see for Central Mass basketball, and we questioned whether the Red Raiders were going to even make their way into the playoffs when they lost that game about 6-7 games ago to Leominster, and they found a way to win 3 out of 4 down the stretch and sneak their way in at 10-10, and now they're moving on to the next round.
And what a night for Fitchburg basketball. A huge, huge road win tonight, and they're going to be the Road Warriors all the way down to the end. Officials have to step in. Some of the student sections got caught together, and then the players out on the floor as well. But cooler heads prevail, and officials from both communities send everybody to neutral corners. See the two head coaches
get together,
getting together, congratulating each other. It was a great night of basketball. 65-61.
Both coaches should be proud of their teams.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we're going to recap it all for you. Post-game coming up next. 65-61. Fitchburg is a winner. They improved to 11-10 on the season, and they play their way in to the round of 32. Whitman Hanson, the 26th seed, will fall to 12-11 and are eliminated from this 2022 Division II postseason tournament. Post-game coming your way next. Game of the week here on the K-Zone, brought to you by Viola's Fitchburg Tire, Harvard Outdoor Power, Jarvis Ford, and Rhino Linings of Leominster. We thank all of you so very much for your support all winter long of the Game of the Week here on the K-Zone. What a night. We're just getting started. Post-game comes your way next. Stay with us. So much more to come. 65-61. Fitchburg wins and advances to play Norwood on Friday night. We recap this one, plus preview action oncoming. We've got Leominster and Newburyport coming up on Friday. Game of the week here on the K-Zone. We'll preview it for you coming up next. We'll also preview Norwood and Fitchburg. That game coming up on Friday night as well. 65-61. Fitchburg a winner. They survive and move on in this postseason tournament. Post-game comes your way next. This is the Game of the Week here on the K-Zone. Sounds good. What a night here on the K-Zone Game of the Week. Another dandy we've been treated to here in the opening round of Massachusetts Madness. It's March Madness here in statewide high school basketball, and we got it for you here on the K-Zone as part of our Game of the Week for this winter. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us here on this Tuesday night. Hope you enjoyed this coverage on AM1280, 105.3 FM, WPKZstream.com, and with our partners on Facebook Live, RFM at facebook.com/media rivalry. Fitchburg, a winner tonight, 65-61 the final score, and the Red Raiders will advance to play Norwood coming up on Friday night. Game of the Week, post-game brought to you by Bolton Orchards. Get fresh every day at the junctions of Route 110 and 117. Take the short drive to Bolton Orchards today. We'll preview that upcoming action in moments. Friday night, 2 games we'll be keeping an eye on. Game of the week here on the K-Zone. Leominster and Newburyport, the 4 seed, battles an upset victor in Newburyport. We'll have all that information for you before we close and go off the air tonight. But let's first dispose of this one. Kate, before we get your final stats, 65-61, Fitchburg a winner in this one. And, you know, we talked about it on the K-Zone morning commute today. Fitchburg needing to go on the road. Obviously, leaving early. We talked about that before the game. They got the opportunity to leave a little earlier, get down there. They went directly on the floor to warm up. They seemed like they were on a business trip, and they opened the game on fire. That 6-0 run to open the basketball game feels all that much more important here in the late stages when you win by 4.
Yes. Absolutely right.
I couldn't agree more. Especially when they only scored 9 points in that opening quarter, and they came out with 6 straight to start the game. You know, and
Usually
any other night,
that toward
any other night
toward
we
an
might
individual.
have thought that they
so-
were in trouble.
Hot potato.
But you know, I think that Fitchburg did a good job regrouping. That's about all you can say. And you know, they found their way to the scoreboard when they needed it. But you know, and when Kate gets into her stats, you know, they can really look back on Caputi's night tonight.
Yes.
They certainly did. And I mean, you got to, again, look at the foul line, you know, free throws.
Up until
certainly.
the end, I mean, they were hitting everything.
Yeah, and just down that
until we started
that
talking
last round,
about
I was gonna say, the more we referred to it, the worse it seemingly got. But at the end of the day, the important part, they were able to preserve the victory tonight. Game of the week here on the K-Zone, brought to you by Whitcomb Insurance. Whitcomb has the right coverage at the right price with a local team of insurance pros ready to help. Online at Whitcomb.com. 65-61, Fitchburg wins, advances on to play Norwood on Friday night in this new tournament. Before we go a little further here, let's talk about it. This was the play-in round, beginning, of course. All these teams were the teams with a 500 or better record, or the teams that finished in the bottom half of the top 32 by power rating. Thus, they got to host the higher seeds, got to host the lower seeds in this play-in round. Play-in round featured a lot of excitement. We got 2 upsets that directly influence where things go here in the next couple. But again, of course, it brings about the question. Does this now put into question whether power ratings were accurate to begin with? Was a 12-10 Whitman Hanson team really that much better than a 10-10 Fitchburg team coming into the night? Does this help or hurt? I got to say, I love the excitement. I love the atmosphere. And I love the intermixing of teams. You know, folks I know love the regional rivalries, and I could certainly respect that position. And those are a lot of fun. We get a lot of those during the regular season, though. I'm excited by this postseason in the ability, of course, to see new matchups. I've seen Leominster and Whitman Hanson play a couple times in football because they played each other back 20 years ago. Now, here's Fitchburg and Whitman Hanson in basketball, and it was an awfully exciting game at a great facility down in Hanson, Massachusetts tonight. Bill Thomas, did one game make a believer out of you?
Well, you know, we speculated at the beginning of the year how this was going to work out come playoff time, how much travel was going to be involved, what teams we were going to see, and if we were going to see new teams. And we knew we were, and I like the concept, not seeing the same regional teams until we got stuck traveling to the West. It seemed like it happened every year. Somehow Fitchburg and Leominster were considered Western Division teams once you got into the playoffs, advanced. And I like the concept of not going out and playing a Chicopee or a West Springfield or a Haverhill year in and year out. And you never know where you're going to go from round to round now. So I think that really opens up the expectations of traveling to new courts, playing at new schools, maybe creating some new friendships, some new rivalries. And the way the schedule is going to be laid out in the future, you know, you can pick and choose who you want to play. you never know where the schedule is going to lead based on who you might play, who you might meet, what friendships you might develop in these expanded playoffs.
I like the concept you mentioned there, Bill Thomas, of creating new rivalries or creating some networking between schools who maybe wouldn't previously work together. And, Kate, we talked about it a little bit about building your schedule in the future and how you might put things together, piece things together as you look forward into the future. If you go on the road, play a team in the playoffs, develop some excitement, whether you win or lose, but they've got a good facility, you've got a good facility, you create a little home and home year over year. Now all of a sudden you start to build things. Fitchburg and Whitman Hanson were actually on the schedule to play each other, and that got washed out during the regular season for one reason or another, somewhere back in the December, early January time period. But here they are. They ended up finding each other in the postseason together that many weeks later. It can't hurt to create this kind of networking, especially for teams in Central and West who have got to build connections to that large volume of teams in Eastern Massachusetts.
Well, first and foremost, I will congratulate the Central Mass team that came to the Eastern Mass Invitational and was victorious in the play-in round. So that's first and foremost. But one of the things
Tom
that
Flanagan would be proud.
I was going to say, who did you just plagiarize there with that thought?
That would be
Let's
Mr.
give him
Tom
credit.
Flanagan.
Give him some credit. We love Tom. Great friend of the
Billy
K-Zone.
says she wouldn't be that pointed all by herself, would she?
No,
She-
I'm
she
surprised
wouldn't
he
be
didn't
that.
steal that from you.
She wouldn't be that pointed by
But
herself.
he made a great point,
Yeah.
and
But I mean,
but it's not all at a loss. We thought it's just these Central Mass teams are going to be one and done, but Fitchburg proved us wrong.
they did. And one of the things, I mean, the three of us know, this Fitchburg team took the 4 seed in Division II to overtime earlier in the season.
Yes.
So I think one of the things, at least in Division II, because that's kind of our bread and butter right now, we've seen, a number of the teams.
And the other half would be the other half of games we saw are in Division One. So I would say
Certainly.
those
are our
the
two,
two that we see most
that we
frequently.
see most frequently.
Sure.
And I think what you're seeing is essentially from top to bottom, it's one of those any given Sunday type situations because this Fitchburg team, again, we talked about their raw athleticism. It's essentially like that jewel that you find fresh out of the mine, and it hasn't been polished yet. They have the athleticism. They have the tools. They are absolute, insane athletes when it comes to any sport that you put a Fitchburg Red Raider in. It's about that refinement in a lot of situations. And so you have a team like them who went to overtime with the 4 seed in this division. And so, no, I'm not surprised that there was a quote-unquote upset. And I think that one of the things with these divisions, hopefully, especially on the boys' side, we're going to see a little bit of parity so that it does turn into these great contests that are only 4-point games by the time you slice it and dice it.
And I think what also adds to this extra intrigue is you're seeing teams that are, you talked about the top 32. Well, teams that are from 17 down wouldn't typically get a home game. We're seeing now Whitman Hanson got an extra home game, a playoff game, create some fan interest. The student body was out tonight. It was great. And they got a home game that they wouldn't have normally gotten. They would have had to go on the road in a typically tough 32. They would have traveled to, the 10 seed or somewhere on the road, and who knows what might have happened. But, when you look at records, does a 10-10 team match up with a 12-10 team? Once again, how are the records built? Were they just playing their own division rivals? Were they trying to build for that 10 and then go above that and, got some power along the way? I don't really think the numbers are going to really spell out what we can expect going forward. We got to wait till the ball gets tossed up and see what we end up on the court. We can't. I don't think there's any way we can predetermine based on records and opponents on what we expect to see, no matter what the records are.
And I think the question for teams that are from the west of 495 is an Eastern Mass team really that much better that the power rating numbers end up as lopsided as
West of
they
495,
are.
there be dragons here.
I was going to say
So-
that is the
Welcome
the
to
question.
Western Mass.
I was going to say welcome to Western Mass as far
Todd's
as anybody
kids
who
think-
lives
Todd's kids think
inside
we live in
of
Western Mass.
495.
They're like,
Well,
"You live
that's
in
because
Western
we
Mass?"
always had to travel
God,
to
there be
Springfield.
dragons
It's like,
here.
yeah, it's like, it's like the Columbus thought they were going to sail off the edge of the earth once they went past the line. You get the other side of 495, and there's nothing but trees and rivers and lakes out there, and how do you survive?
And that is
know?
the question
You
that
play
I think
basketball out there, really?
Well, the best part is that's where Naismith
invented
Yeah, right.
the game of
Invented the game
basketball.
of
Way out
basketball.
west.
As it
Exactly
turns
right.
out.
As funny as it is. It wasn't invented in Eastern Mass, but you'd think it was.
I think what the folks like Tom Flanagan and yourself, Bill Thomas, will appreciate tonight. The team with the 500 or better record beat the team that had the higher power rating.
Oh, boy.
Take that one to the bank.
Right, because
at
in
the
the old
conclusion
school,
of this one as well.
Leominster Fitchburg might not have been in the playoffs if they were staying sticking to that top 32. I like the way they expanded. I didn't understand it at first, but I love it now.
Newburyport, also a 500 or better team, beat a power-rated higher team in Marblehead in being able to advance
2
on
for 2
as
with
well.
away teams
2
on
for
games
2
that we're following
away
tonight.
teams and teams that had a 500 or better record, not a higher power rating.
Exactly
Thank God
right.
for the play-in round.
Great losses aren't doing a lot for improving. Those good quality losses aren't doing a lot for judging out the power rating to this point.
There be dragons.
And time. Indeed, there is. 65-61, Fitchburg a winner in this K-Zone game of the week. Kate's final stats, they're brought to you by our friends at Manny's Appliance. Manny's features a complete lineup of major brand name appliances with exclusive rebates the big box stores do not have. Buy the best from Manny's, 120 Hamilton Street in Leominster. Kate, Manny's Appliances brings us your final stats.
All right, let's take a look at the Whitman Hanson Panthers side of the ball. Team totals first, obviously, the 4-point deficit is the final score. They are able to manage 61 points as a team, 37 rebounds, 2 steals, 20 turnovers, but they shot 11 of 14 from the line as a team. Individual notable statistics. Champaigny ends his night with 8 points. Jamison ends his night with 16. He was 4 of 5 from the line. Baker ends his night, the freshman, with 14 fourth-quarter points. He was 1 of 1 from the line. He hit 3 threes. He hit 2 from the field, 14 points in the fourth quarter. Where was he in the first 3 quarters for the Panthers? Because somebody must have left him in the locker room because he was masterful. Then you have Valancourt. He ends his night with 6. Masoni ends his night with 2. Alcorn Crowder ends his night with 15 points and was 5 of 5 from the line.
Let's not forget that. I'm sorry.
Go,
Let's
Billy,
not forget
go.
that massive dunk that he threw down. I was expecting a couple more of those to get the crowd and the team wound up.
And of the 37 rebounds, he probably had at least half of them. So his defensive prowess was certainly on display as well. Now if we take a look at the Red Raiders side of the ball, team totals first, 34 rebounds, 6 steals, 14 turnovers for Fitchburg. They shot 12 of 19 from the line as a team. They win by 4. Individual notable statistics. De Leon ends his night with 6. I misrepresented his point total when he fouled out. I said 12, but that was Thomas with 12 points. De Leon ended his night when he fouled out with 6 points and was 4 of 4 from the line. Thomas ends his night with 12 points. Ayala with 2. Medina with 6. Caputi ends his night with a team-high 16 points. Jeffries with 4. Kutka, also with 16 points, was 4 of 4 from the line for the Red Raiders. So the Red Raiders tonight have 7 different members of their team contributing to the offensive stat sheet. They have 3 gentlemen in double digits on the offensive stat sheet and 12 of 19 as a team from the line. That's what we call a difference maker, and those are your stats.
And you talk about stepping up in the second half, Kate, and I'm looking at some stats that I had kind of scribbled down. Caputi had 6 at the half. He ends up with 16. Nice, strong 10 points in the second half. But Kutka only had 5 at the half. He ends up with 16. He throws in 11. I mean, that's 21 very important points right there. And really the 2 team leaders here that led the way in the second half.
Absolutely agree.
And you're talking about each end. Somebody that wasn't on the team at the beginning of the season and somebody who's been a team leader across the board no matter what sport he's playing. So it's a nice mix there, the young and the old, and they both became team leaders tonight.
Talk about a difference maker.
Absolutely. Difference makers.
And there have been difference makers galore tonight. We've got some great results coming in here. I want to be able to set this up.
Yeah, we saw that.
I was going to say, yeah, thank you. Our trip around the bracket, it's brought to you by Dorico's Market, a full-service meat market in Delhi, Worcester's go-to old-fashioned butcher shop and specialty market since 1947, now at 1123 Central Street in Leominster. Let's consult the MIAA bracket here in Division 2.
You think this is going to be updated live?
It is currently being updated. That's why I am making this effort right now, Kate, to be able to show this to the folks at home. So bear with me here as I try to set this up.
I mean,
for
somebody
you.
else is watching besides us.
Indeed, they are. So bear with. For those of you that are joining us on RFM,
Bear with.
we're trying to work this out so you get a good look at the bracket as it stands right now. Let's take a trip around the bracket here on the K-Zone and on RFM as we widen that out for you, and you're now able to see where we stand. Taking a look at the top half of the bracket, results that are in right now. we can tell you that as we move our way down, Foxborough was a winner tonight at home, 63-60. They advanced on in the western side of the bracket to play Walpole, the 9 seed at Walpole, Friday night, 5 p.m. The tip-off in that action. As we work our way a little bit further down the bracket, although not currently updated, we know in the game you heard right here on the K-Zone, 65-61, Fitchburg picks up the win. They will advance on to play Norwood at Norwood in a game that is now listed as 7 o'clock on Thursday night. Note that change on the bracket as well. That is a change that was not previously
Todd, you've
listed.
got conferences that night, so you're not going.
I know. What can I do?
No.
Might have to talk about that one. There'll be a meeting.
Reschedule?
There'll be a post-broadcast meeting coming up on
I
that
have
one.
Will we be doing
power.
this game from his
As well.
classroom?
We might be doing that game right from here, right after parent conferences. Stand by for that. More to come. On the western side of the bracket, Newburyport, the 36th seed, tops the 29th seed Marblehead on the road, 75-61 the final there. We saw some bonus coverage in halftime of that game, which was back and forth, and then Newburyport pulled ahead late in the third quarter and ran away with it in the fourth. 75-61, Newburyport downs Marblehead in a battle of the North Shore. Newburyport will now come to Leominster on Friday night. 6:30 is the tip-off. The game is right here on the K-Zone Game of the Week. 6:30 p.m. tip-off, 6:15 your countdown to tip-off here on the K-Zone and on RFM for Newburyport at Leominster. Other action as we hop over to the eastern side of the bracket. This is a team familiar to those of you that have been following Leominster basketball this year. Burlington was the 3 overall seed, and they now know that Friday night at 6:30 they will host Charlestown, as Charlestown took a home victory tonight over 35 seed Melrose, 78-64 the final in that one. Charlestown advances on to play Burlington at Burlington coming up on Friday night. As we continue on down the brackets here, no additional updates. I'm going to refresh one more time just to see if there are any added games that we can pass along to folks as we work our way down the bracket at this point, and it does not appear that they have made any other additions, so no other games have gone final at this point as we bring you back inside Studio B here on RFM and with our friends here on the K-Zone as well. Final thoughts here through the first night of this tournament. This Red Raider team going on to play Norwood. Let's preview that action. It's brought to you by Bank Hometown. Bank Hometown's free checking account works for you. Visit bankhometown.com or stop in to their convenient Leominster branch, Sac Boulevard. Bank Hometown, member FDIC. Let's preview this upcoming action. Fitchburg going to Norwood. Norwood, the 7 seed, had a really great season. Red Raiders are going to go on the road again. They're going back to Eastern Mass. If this was the NCAA tournament, they'd just stay out in Eastern Mass. Unfortunately, they got to come home, go to school for a couple days, then they got to get back on the bus and travel down to Norwood for their next round of 32 matchup.
Not quite as far.
I wouldn't say that there'll be any complaining going on.
Absolutely
if they
not.
have to keep traveling, but they get to keep playing. After tonight's win on the road, I don't think they're afraid to go into any gym, and they'll take it as far as they can.
Certainly have no reason to concern yourself on that. And Kate, if you're thinking about where you might be, and you are Fitchburg, and you have to keep making these trips east, which, that is the way this bracket continues to set up, by the way, because if they were to beat Norwood, they would get the winner of Salem and either Medfield or Somerset Berkeley, all of them Eastern Mass teams as well. So it would be a trip back out east for the round of 16 for the Red Raiders as well. They're basically going to build up the frequent flyer miles with only one possibility. If they make their way out to the Elite Eight and Shepherd Hill wins out, Shepherd Hill could host Fitchburg in the Elite Eight if they were able to advance on.
That's what they get to look forward
That's
to.
what they have to look
powerhouse
over.
like Shepherd Hill. But
I was going to say, and
They
a shorter trip to Dudley.
all bets are off, if they get that far. And, power to them if they can work their way through the bracket that far. But I tell you, Coach McCall's got to feel pretty good about the way the Red Raiders found other people to step up tonight. Last 2 games that got him in the playoffs, it was Thomas and DeLeon combining for, 33 and 37. Tonight, 2 names, Caputi and Kutka, step up, and they combine for 32 on their own. So it's nice to see that you have other people to go to. You don't always got to rely on that 1 or 2 player that does it game in and game out, and but to have two other players step up like that really presents a challenge for opposing defenses and coaches.
It certainly does, and we'll see where that goes as well. Let's preview one more game, the next game of the week here on the K-Zone, coming up on Friday night, and it's brought to you by Acme Carpet One. There's lots of pros and cons in the flooring business, and these are the pros. Online at acmecarpet1.com. Fourth overall seed Leominster. They are at home throughout this postseason until you get to the Final Four, when those games will be contested at a neutral site. So Leominster now knows they will play host to the Clippers of Newburyport. 75-61. Newburyport beats Marblehead. They will take on a Leominster team that certainly have had the benefit of not having to play, but Leominster certainly clunked their way to a regular season finish. They had a great run in the Midwatch League tournament, lost to Wachusett, immediately went into the Worcester tournament, a quick win on the next day against Doherty, but then a loss following up just days later against Franklin in Division 1. But this is a Leominster team, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, that have not lost to a team in their own division or below all year long. All four of Leominster's losses in their 14-4 record are to Division 1 teams. That's a division up from where Leominster is in this postseason.
And recap those, Todd. The four, I think, two Wachusett, one to Franklin,
and Worcester North.
Worcester North, who ended up with, I think, 1 or 2 losses in the Worcester
Phenomenal
City
team.
League.
They are probably one of the best in Central Mass.
You know, you talk about battle tested. The Blue Devils are definitely coming into this this tournament, playoff battle tested lead for the games that they had leading up to it. You know, they didn't shy away from that strength of schedule. They dove into it head first, and we talked to Coach Crutchfield about that day in and day out. And that's what he wanted, was to get his team ready for this level, and you know, to have that take no prisoners attitude, not limp in and not play for that 500 record in hope. They definitely controlled their own destiny. They did a great job doing it. We'll just have to see what kind of game they bring to the floor on Friday. They really struggled in that athletic directors tournament that we had last week at Worcester State, and they definitely got to get off to a better start than that.
It is Leominster, and now we know it is Newburyport. That's the game coming up on Friday night. The Clippers of Newburyport come to Leominster, and they bring a phenomenal season into Leominster's home court tonight. And, of course, this is a night where Leominster now knows who the team is. They've got a chance to see him play.
They saw him throw up 75 points, so they know they can score the rock.
And offensively, Kate, that has been Leominster's kryptonite. They play great defense. So they're going to look to neutralize. You go back to the Burlington game, a team that scored 97 points 2 days before they played Leominster, comes out and barely makes it to 50 in a basketball game against Leominster. So Leominster has the ability to neutralize other teams' offense with a great, intense defense, but they got to be able to score the basketball. I mean, 50 points has got to be the baseline to your conversation offensively.
You're absolutely right all around, from start to finish, everything that you've discussed. One of the things that we've seen in the 4 losses to those Division I teams, like you said, they were clunkers. And in those Division I teams really exposed some of that ice-cold offense that Leominster can kind of fall into.
Certainly.
We still, and I know I've been badgering this poor Leominster team. Please make no mistake about it. This Leominster team is incredibly talented. They're a remarkable bunch of athletes. And I am being very ticky-tack and wishy, like I'm just begging.
You're drilling down.
I want 4 quarters of solid offense,
Yes.
of more than 10 points of offense from this team, because they're just so darn capable of doing it. I think that they need to help Justin Dada in order to make that happen. I think that Justin is absolutely going to be keyed. He's going to be double-teamed or even triple-teamed all night long. So that means that other people wearing the Leominster blue and white need to contribute to the offensive stat sheet. We've seen nights where Dada has been able to essentially kind of take his foot off the gas, and he's had contributions from some people, but we still have yet to really see 4 quarters of sustained pedal-to-the-metal type offense from this Leominster team. I understand that their bread and butter is defense, and they are masterful at it, and Coach Kevin Crutchfield has that particular aspect of their game going like a well-oiled machine. But in my case, I also need you to get back in transition and score me some points, especially when they're layups.
And that has been where Leominster has left a lot of points out there, those doorstep points. And Bill Thomas, when you look at what's in front of you, Leominster finished in the top 4. If this was, again, the NCAA tournament, you might consider these all 1 seeds. These would have all been 1-line seeds, each with a quarter
Where
of
they
the
broke 'em
bracket,
up,
right,
yeah,
with the way they
exactly
broke them
right.
up. But Malden Catholic was the number 1 overall seed. They were the number 1 of the number 1s. Mansfield was the number 2 seed. Burlington, who Leominster played earlier this year, and this just speaks to the strength of Leominster's schedule, was the 3 seed, and then Leominster was the 4th overall seed, or the 4th overall number 1. You could look at it in the way this bracket was broken up. For Leominster to get out of their quarter of the bracket, they're going to have to beat teams like Pembroke, okay, the 12 seed, Scituate, the 13 seed. These are quality Eastern Mass basketball teams with storied traditions on their quarter of the bracket, and then cross over, and Burlington is the top seed on the other side of the bracket with other storied programs. Teams we've seen, Holyoke, the 11 seed. Longmeadow is the other big seed, the 14 seed on that side of the bracket, to get you to a 3-4 game in the Final Four.
You know, and usually we've seen those when we've traveled, those 2 teams out to the western part of the state. We know how good they can be, just as good as some of those Eastern Mass teams. And, you know, we've seen it in past years. And I'm expecting this to be a great tournament all the way through. Yeah, Leominster's got a tough road to hoe here, but it's no easy task when you got this many teams, and you never know at this high school level what team is going to show up on any given. You know, you can use the cliche in any given night, but it's best represented at the high school level for sure.
One small correction: Leominster would play the number 1 overall seed. It's 1 and 4 in the Final Four. If you were to work your way down, 2 and 3, so it would be Malden Catholic.
And we did this math earlier.
Yes.
We were wondering, would Fitchburg ever match up with Leominster? And only if they each make it to the finals, I think, is what we figured out.
Yeah,
but
to the state championship, they
you
would have to
can,
go.
you know, you never know. You
My heart
never
couldn't take
know.
it. My
You
heart couldn't
never
take it
know.
a
But
third time.
if anybody's wondering if we would ever see a Leominster-Fitchburg matchup in this scenario this year, they both got to make it to the finals.
To the finals. They've got to play their way
They're
into
on
the center.
opposite sides and top and bottom.
That's correct.
There's no way they can get together unless they
find their way to the
they meet in the
crossover point
championship
in the
game.
state championship. What a great night here on the K-Zone and on RFM as well. If you enjoyed high school basketball, you got treated to another great one here tonight. You want to relive this one? Facebook.com/Media Rivalry. You can relive it once again right here on Facebook Live on RFM right now at the conclusion of this stream. Or you can go to YouTube, youtube.com, search Rivalry Family Media to relive this one again at the later on stages of this evening, or it's tinyurl.com/Media Rivalry. Take you directly to that YouTube page. Updates on the schedule, that's available out on Twitter. Follow at Media Rivalry. Like, follow, and subscribe today. New content goes up. Bingo, you're able to get it. And for our folks joining us on the K-Zone, on the social side, at WPKZ Radio, on Facebook, on Twitter, and all of your associated social media feeds as well. Great game of the week. Want to thank DJ Derek Drown back at Master Control for pushing the buttons and making the magic happen here tonight. Want to thank all of you so very much for being a part of our family over the last couple of hours. Next game of the week, Friday night, Leominster and Newburyport, as Leominster, the 4th overall seed, host Newburyport in the round of 32. It's right here on the K-Zone, beginning at 6:15. Tip-off follows at 6:30. We've got the streaming action for you on RFM as well. Until Friday night, for Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins, saying thank you so very much for joining us. And until Friday night, from the gym at Leominster High School, we say, so long, everybody.